You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent Austen Show.
Welcome back. Had to restart the stream a little bit. We had some Ram problems, some Rams. We were the LA Rams. Aaron Donald, up to no good.
How about that?
We had some Ram problem, but I think we are groovy right now. We seem to be flowing just fine. Welcome back to the Austen and Kasey Summertime Spectacular. We got Nick in the daytime pushing all the right buttons with some help in the back too by Mr. Sesnick, who kind of oversees the whole operation. Dude was on vacation, comes back to absolute chaos, I feel like.
Hey.
But hey.
You know what?
That's why they pay him the big bucks.
That's why they pay him the big bucks.
That's why they pay him the big bucks. But speaking of big bucks, Kasey, Trevor Lawrence has been obviously the topic of conversation, I feel like, since this stream started, you know,
Yep.
and he's the most important player in the city of Jacksonville. People have felt a certain type of way when I said that, you know, you should cheer for him to be a top 5 quarterback, and that rubs people the wrong way, and people were my DMs, my comments a little bit.
Sorry about that, my guy.
Oh, no, it's all good. Yeah,
Thought it was a good take.
And that was kind of was that your video that you made?
Yeah.
By the way? Yeah, so by the way, so Kasey makes the videos. Well, most of the videos.
Yeah, I make them.
Okay, so Kasey makes the videos.
Yeah.
And obviously sometimes, like, the whole goal is to be, like, engaging.
Yeah.
Controversial sometimes, right?
But
So it was edited, put it out there that I thought, hey, if you're going to cheer for, you know, your team to lose and celebrate the Jets win and everything, you get Trevor Lawrence, then you should expect to have a top 5 quarterback. Eventually, I said too.
Yep.
Keyword, eventually. And people felt a certain type of way about it.
Mm-hmm.
And people were throwing the EPA in my face, which, by the way, we're going to show 2 pictures here hopefully soon about, you know, first of all, we have Chris Sims' top whatever quarterbacks, which is
interesting.
always it's always a treat to break down,
Yep.
Kasey, because this is the guy that said that Zach Wilson
Yes.
was going to be better off than Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, Zach ain't on the list.
Oh, he's not. I was going to say, because I'm not sure where Trevor's on the list yet, and sometimes, like, these things could run me. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you put Trevor, like, at 20 because he hates Trevor Lawrence. It seems like. But we'll see with that. We'll see momentarily. But then I'm wondering, like, okay, well, then is Zach Wilson on the list at all? Because that was Chris Sims' guy. And I get it. Like, this seems to be, I mean, Kasey, you know this as much as I do. Like, in sports media, you almost have to have, like, some kind of outlandish thing to, like, be polarizing in the public eye. Now, I'll be honest. When I said that I think Jaguars fans should expect Trevor Lawrence to be a top 5 quarterback eventually because of all the investment of cheering that you did for the franchise to lose, like, I didn't find that to be a crazy take.
No, I didn't think it was controversial at all.
I thought, like, but of course. But no, people felt a certain type of way about it, and that's fine. But you know me, man. Like, I'm to the point now in my social media career where if something like, I don't have the time and energy, Kasey. I don't know how Brent does it. Like, this will be one of the world's greatest mysteries to me is how Brent can stay so locked in and engaged on Twitter. Because I get, like, it's his job, and it's kind of my job as well, but I can't do it. Okay, I simply cannot do it. Because, like, I'm not gonna respond. I respond to one person, and then, like,
they should feel important.
Well, and then they responded back. Then it's like I'm not gonna sit by my cell phone all damn day wait for somebody to respond to me. Then I have to respond back. Like,
It's too small for
yeah, I mean, if you want to come on the video chat and say something, I will try to, like, I don't always see the video chat either, but, like, if you want to come in the chat, say something cool. If you want to, like, DM me and give me your number, we can chat about it, but, like, I'm not.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean that's a horrible idea, right? It's a fun fact, too. I've had the same number since I was in middle school.
Don't say that.
What do you mean? How is that? I mean, guess. I don't know.
Somebody right now, somewhere in the world's like, yo, I had Austin's number in high school.
Same one?
College.
Give him a holler, man. Give him a holler. But anyway, so getting back on
Different
Trevor,
phone, though, for sure.
Oh, yeah, man.
That thing is
iPhone 8.
tiny.
Here, okay.
No wonder you're not responding back to everybody. You have to scroll 8 times.
Can we
to
put
see
this to bed right now? Number one, that's the iPhone 8, probably the best iPhone ever made.
with the
Still holds
default
up.
screensaver.
With the default, well, yeah, it's got the default screensaver. Because, hey, all I got to do on my phone is text, call, listen to music, the occasional podcast, and tweet every blue moon. That's about it. Why do I need a walking iPad in my pocket?
I just, this I think is just a quality size.
Not going to fit in my pocket, though, huh?
If this doesn't fit in your pocket, it'll fit in his man purse. I'll tell you that.
It'll fit in the purse and the pocket, buddy. Come on now.
Shots fired at Nick for no reason.
All I'm saying is it'll fit. It's not like Brent's phone. Brent has the massive phone.
Okay, I'm just saying, does just fine for what I need it to do.
Nah.
Okay, and that's text, call, music, the occasional podcast, and the occasional tweet where I get hated on, which is fine. I'm all good. But I think we have Chris Sims. Actually, hey, before we get into Chris Sims, do we have the EPA one, Nick?
Yeah, give me 1 second and pull it up.
So, to set the scene real quick, when I said the things about Trevor Lawrence and Kasey made the video and obviously set me up for failure, appreciate ya.
Got clicks though, huh?
Got clicks
like
though.
10,000 engagements.
Got interactions for sure.
That's my job.
Got interactions for sure.
I was told to get the people engaged.
Oh, people were engaged. Now, going after me. Oh, Austin's been fighting too long. He's got CT. By the way.
Somebody said that.
Oh, yeah. Which, I don't think I do. Like,
No.
I've seen it firsthand, and hey, it kind of sucks. But it's wild how, and like, I blame Antonio Brown for this. It's wild how, like, CTE is just like a funny thing.
It's
to
like
everyone.
a punchline.
It's like a punchline. But like, think about this. Like, if somebody smoked and got cancer, are you gonna like make fun of them for having like lung cancer?
No, probably not.
Yeah, but like CT is just like, you played football, your brain's messed up. Ha! Like, whatever. I think my brain's fine. I mean, yeah, I messed up like
football and UFC.
and UFC. Yeah, so we're really gonna max it out and put it to the test here.
You try it.
But as long as I'm still dominating Jeopardy every single night, I think we're going to be okay. Now, getting back to the EPA comments, somebody in the mentions goes, and this is where I had to turn the phone off. I'm like, I can't do this. Someone said, you've been punched in the face too much. Trevor Lawrence's EPA is so-and-so. And what I wanted to say, Kasey, is, what is EPA? I get what EPA is, but nobody can explain how you get those numbers.
Right.
And this is why I hate analytics more than anything, because people want to put numbers here. Oh, his EPA is 1 point. Okay, how'd you get to 1 point? How'd you get to 1.27? And how am I supposed to correlate that in being a good quarterback or not? Here's the EPA list of last year I think we have right here from Nick in the daytime. Okay. So this person said that Trevor Lawrence's EPA was like one of the best in the league, which according to this chart, it absolutely does. Now, Kasey, can you break down? I can't read it. My eyes aren't that good. From what they justify being EPA here.
So EPA adjusted for pass protection, receiver drops, dropped interceptions, luck on passes, fumble recoveries, and interception returns. Given credit for expected yards after the catch only, and accounting for defenses faced.
Okay. So when you put all that into account, Trevor Lawrence is number 3 overall.
He's number 3 overall with adjusted EPA per play of 0.26.
Now he has and this is what the person told me in my mentions, he has the highest differential. Means like he's like, okay.
It looks it looks that way.
Okay.
The differential is 0.19.
Okay. So if that's the case, then we looked at and once again, I'm not going down the list of like Tommy DeVito. I'm not going with Daniel Jones because
Ooh.
Oh, zoom it up a little bit. My man, Nick in the daytime working overtime right now. But if we get into this list and we want to say, okay, the EPA, Trevor Lawrence, like Austin, you're stupid. Oh, I'm sorry. Then is Derek Carr the second best quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're just listening and you haven't flipped the screen yet, the list goes Brock Purdy at 1.
Yeah, sorry.
Dak Prescott at 2.
Yes.
So I think there's even beef there because people don't. I mean, where are you at on Dak?
There's beef at Brock Purdy at number 1.
That's fair too.
Okay, keep going, please.
Josh Allen at 4, Kirk Cousins at 5 for the Vikings, which also is intriguing because Kirk played 5 games, 6 games.
Yeah.
Blew out his ACL.
Yep.
Derek Carr's at 6, Tua at 7, Stafford at 8, Patrick Mahomes at 9, and Jordan Love at 10.
Okay,
That's your top 10.
So. Derek Carr, second best quarterback in the NFL. If you want to keep on going down a little bit, Browning at 11, Jared Goff, who had a hell of a year at number 12, Jalen Hurts at 13, CJ Stroud, who people are calling top 5 already, was 14, Geno Smith coming in at 15, Tyrod Taylor at 16, Joe Burrow, 17, Lamar Jackson, 18, MVP of the league.
Yeah.
Some would say best quarterback last year.
And then Baker Mayfield, Ryan Tannehill, your top 20.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and we're all set with this. Appreciate you, Nick. So like this is my point here. It's so easy to point at numbers like EPA and say, yeah, but this. I mean, I feel like there's narratives, there's criteria that can match any argument. But I'm not going to sit here and say because of EPA that Derek Carr is super underrated and should be considered a top 5 quarterback. I'm not even going to put Derek Carr as a top 10 quarterback. I probably wouldn't put Derek Carr right now as a top 15 quarterback.
Sure.
He's an afterthought.
I'll give you that.
But the EPA says.
Right.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I understand that the analytics people love the EPA and all that, and that's fine. Like, I'm not going to tell you how to enjoy watching football, whatever.
Sure.
If you like the numbers, and that's fine. But, I mean, there are times where you can look at some of the stuff and be like, their pass protection at times was not very good, right?
Yeah.
Trevor got hurt 4 times this year. So, like,
of course.
There's something to be said for that. There's also something to be said for you're running in the open field and you fumble the football. Like,
yeah.
EPA is not help. Like, I don't care what that says there, right? There's some things that were absolutely not Trevor Lawrence's fault.
Without a doubt.
Out of his control.
Drop balls.
Right.
Deflections that, obviously were because of the wide receiver. False starts. Holding penalties. Wide receivers not being on the same page. None of it was his fault. I agree with you.
But there are things that were absolutely Trevor Lawrence's fault.
Sure.
And that's where I think I guess the difference between like the analytics people that love it and the people that are just like watching ball, watching tape, whatever.
Yeah.
I think there's just a mad difference there.
And I guess, listen, I haven't been in a locker room in a while in terms of like what coaches believe in philosophy and analytics. Like, I remember back in 2010 when PFF was still like it was in its infancy. Right, and I don't know if it was called like PFF back then, but like there was metrics that coaches used, and I remember like Joe Cullen always coming into our meeting room talking about the metrics in terms of being able to stop the run and our pass rush efficiency. Like I remember all those types of metrics. So, like they've always been used, but like when we talk about EPA, which seems to be like a really hot topic, a big button right now that we want to use to, I guess, prop up quarterbacks, maybe bring quarterbacks down a little bit. Like, do you think when Trevor Lawrence is negotiating his contract, like, are his agents going to say, well, his EPA was like the best in the NFL? Like, when Derek Carr is maybe negotiating a new contract, if he does, are they going to say, well, Derek Carr's EPA would mean like, yeah, we get it. Probably didn't look the best in New Orleans, and he's not maybe Drew Brees, but the EPA looks fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, maybe for Derek Carr because bro's trying to get paid. So like, just so you know, but probably not. Would be my guess. You're talking wins, losses. You're talking stats,
and then you're talking about what you see on the field.
What you see.
Yeah. So speaking of what we see, well, let's go ahead and see what Chris Sims sees because I always get a kick out of this, and obviously it's a summertime, so we need NFL storylines, and I feel like Chris Sims drops us at always the perfect time in terms of how he feels about quarterbacks. Now, have you seen the list yet?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen I've there it is right there. I was going to say, I bet Trevor Lawrence outside the top 10, and lo and behold, here we go. So, Patrick Mahomes, number 1. I think we're cool with that.
No beef.
Josh Allen, number 2.
Beef.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
A little bit of beef.
A little bit of beef just because he's probably going to regress this year, or why do you have the beef here, Kasey?
I just, he's obviously unbelievably talented.
Mm-hmm.
And the second half of the season last year, what Buffalo did was, he was a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just have a hard time saying that outside of Patrick Mahomes, he's the best quarterback in the sport. I'm not there with you. I'm absolutely not there with you.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too. We're about to find out, and I call this the Justin Herbert effect, who had Chris Sims had him at number 6. I call this the Justin Herbert effect. We're about to find out how good of a quarterback you really are.
Yeah.
Because you've lost your go-to guy in Stephon Diggs, who's really elevated your career. You've lost your big play target in Gabe Davis. You're essentially going to have a rookie now out of Florida State.
Keon Coleman, yeah.
Keon Coleman's going to be your number 1 receiver. I don't even know who else they have.
Khalil Shakur, the slot receiver from Boise State, I think.
Okay.
Maybe not Boise State, but somewhere it's small school out west. He did some stuff for them last year. I mean, they've got the 2 tight ends.
Sure.
So you've got Knox and Kincaid. You think they're going to be a big part of it.
Yep.
And I know you've said it before, and I've said it. Like, Buffalo, I don't know if they want to run the ball, but their life gets a whole lot easier when they decide to run the ball.
They're going to have to run the ball because so right now you got Keon Coleman, who, rookie, we'll see, Curtis Samuel, and then Khalil Shakir is going to be your starting three at wide receiver. Chase Claypool is also there.
I'm sure he'll do good.
And then Marquez Valdez-Scantling as well.
Pass.
Yeah, kind of had a rough go a little bit in Kansas City. Actually lost him a game on a drop ball in Kansas City. Did okay in Green Bay, but you don't think he's going to go above and beyond. Yeah. By the way, my boy Andy Isabella still in the league. Where's he from? Out of UMass. Former lacrosse player. Met him at the Senior Bowl. I said he was going to be a fantasy darling, if you will, and that didn't really come to fruition. Missed on that one, but I'll admit it, I was wrong. But still a guy. Can't win them all, but still a guy in the league. So Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir. You're about to find out how good Josh Allen is.
Yeah.
And I'm with you here. I don't think he's where,
number two.
Yep. Yeah. All right, so could we have the list back up there, Nick, please? You got a second? Praying we don't shut the stream down. All right, good. Go. So Joe Burrow at number 3. You happy with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm a big Joe Burrow guy.
I mean, you're a huge Joe Burrow guy. I'm a big Joe Burrow guy myself.
When healthy, he's unstoppable.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Lamar Jackson, number 4.
Probably too low.
This one, to me, was the first surprise. I mean, you can say Josh Allen's a little bit of a surprise. I get it, though, at least from my side. I'm surprised at Matthew Stafford at number 5. Do we sleep on Matthew Stafford a lot?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I'm gonna say something real quick.
Yeah.
Jason Hamby last week told me that if Matthew Stafford was on the Green Bay Packers when Aaron Rodgers was, Stafford would have had more championships than Aaron Rodgers.
Hamby's a homer.
Hamby is a homer. He's definitely is a Georgia homer.
I don't know. I think Matthew Stafford. I think he slept on. I don't know about that.
Yeah, sure.
But he's consistent. He figures out ways to get it done. I get in Detroit didn't always look good, but he figures out ways to get it done. The Rams, at this time last year, the Rams had 33 guys on their roster, period.
I know.
They didn't even have people. And they figure out a way to be good last year when nobody thought. I get Kyron Williams is a big part of that, but 5 may be high. I've always liked Stafford because I think it's under the radar, but if he was your quarterback, I feel like you're happy.
Yeah, the thing with Stafford, and listen, I've shared the locker room with a guy, great dude, great leader.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing but great things to say about him. And obviously a very talented quarterback. Guy's got an absolute cannon for an arm. But how much of the success is stemmed off of playing with guys like Calvin Johnson? How much of the success is playing in a system that is so quarterback friendly and Sean McVay? When you have, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, Cooper Kupp wasn't healthy the entire year, but you had Cooper Kupp for a while, and obviously you have the emergence of Puka Nacua. Mm-hmm. I feel like you have a lot of great tools at your disposal to be a successful quarterback. I don't know if you put Matthew Stafford, for instance, you put him on the Cardinals, or you put him, I don't know, another mediocre team, on the Panthers. Is he going to elevate him that much?
I think if you put him on Tampa, that's a mediocre team to me. Tampa's just okay.
Yeah, but
you put him on Tampa.
It's a high-powered offense, though, man.
It's a problem.
Yeah, but Jameis Winston led the league in touchdowns in that offense. Now, interceptions as well, but touchdowns because of the receivers that they have. I mean, Mike Evans always slept on.
I guess what I would go back with you on Stafford is, yes, obviously the McVay offense is friendly. You saw what happened with Jared Goff, but you can't punish him for that.
Sure.
And I would say, although maybe I wrote an article said Puka Nacua was going to be good, it's fine, no big deal. Nobody listened to it, it's fine.
Wait, just so we're clear, you wrote this article before the season.
I did a Jags mock draft. I said they should pick him because he's a sleeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your criteria? Why do you think he's going to be so good? I mean, obviously in retrospect, guy's dominant, but did you see or what did you hear?
I thought he would fit at the time. So this is not the draft that just happened, but 2 years going
Correct.
into
Yeah.
I thought he would fit well in what they needed and what they could still find. That guy that would complement Christian Kirk a little bit. I thought he had big play potential. Turns out he did.
He did, yeah. Because his biggest knock to a lot of draft experts was like he's a little slow.
Yeah.
He's physical, but like, can he run and get out of breaks and everything? And is he fast enough?
And he had good numbers at BYU, so I just thought it made sense for a guy that looked like had that talent later in the draft. But I would say here, as much as I liked Puka Nacua, how much of Puka Nacua becoming good had to do with Stafford? I think a good bit.
Yeah.
I also think there's a good bit, like Cooper Kupp was talented before Stafford was there, but I think Cooper Kupp became more of Cooper Kupp because of Stafford.
No, for sure. But then also you see a guy like Jared Goff, and it's, I mean, and now granted, Jared Goff's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, and he's earned it, and he's done his thing in Detroit. But I think a lot of his time in LA was predicated off of saying, well, he's a game manager because it's Sean McVay's show.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's. I guess the question comes, like, if you put Stafford on any other team, but can he elevate said teams? And maybe he can, man. Like I said, he has a lively arm. He has the arm talent. He's tough as nails.
What if he was in Jacksonville? Because you want to talk about mediocre. I mean, the Jags are a win away from the playoffs. They should have been there. I get it. But that's a team that's right on the doorstep.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, Casey. Are you asking me last year if Matthew Stafford was the quarterback of, but like with injuries and everything, to like take into account the offensive line, because Stafford
that's a good point.
Is less mobile than Trevor Lawrence
for sure.
is. So if you're asking me, would I have rather have had Stafford than Trevor Lawrence last year? I mean, if Trevor Lawrence is getting banged up with his mobility, Stafford doesn't make it through the whole season. And once again, I'm not taking away from Stafford because the guy is tough as hell. I mean, didn't he have like a punctured? Yeah. He punctured his lung, right, in Detroit or something like that, or broken rib, and played the whole game on it, no problem. Like, yeah, couldn't even breathe. Not questioning his toughness whatsoever. I'm just questioning the offensive line having Matthew Stafford's back. So I'd probably take Trevor Lawrence, knowing what we know now. All right, let's go back to the list one more time here, Nick, and we'll finish it out here. Justin Herbert, then, like I said, you're about to find out how good you really are. And I've been singing his praises a lot. CJ Stroud at number 7. Dak Prescott, number 8. How do you feel about that?
I'm bugging a little bit. If you want to say Dak is top 10, then I guess sort of I could go there with you. Maybe not really, but I don't think any planet that he's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts and Jared Goff.
So, by the way, I mean, this is the first quarterback really that is in line for new contract too.
Yes.
So start out with Dak Prescott. Then we got Jalen Hurts at number 9, Jared Goff, number 10.
I love Goff, so
yeah, I mean,
it's way too low.
Yeah, like, listen, I'll be honest. When he was in LA, I slept on him immensely. I thought he was just going to be a placeholder in Detroit until they found somebody else, but he has really earned that starting role and is now the franchise quarterback of the Detroit Lions. So I love a story like that where you go from Hard Knocks and your most popular thing is you didn't know that the sun, like which way it's set. Did you watch that Hard Knocks in LA? Yeah. Didn't know, you go from east to west. He's like, is it north to south? So didn't look good to start out your rookie campaign in terms of intelligence, but man, the guy made a mistake. It's fine. And now is really considered one of the best quarterbacks, I think, in the NFL. Then here we go. Outside of the top 10, we have Trevor Lawrence, Casey Kurtz. Are we happy with the seeding of number 11? Higher, lower? What do you think?
About right. There's one, I think. I think he should be up 1 because I would take Dak out.
And I was just getting ready to say the exact same thing. Like, I'll be honest, like the whole Stafford thing still throws me for a loop a little bit at number 5. But like, okay. But yeah, I would probably interchange. I mean, I would put Hurts over. You have to put Hurts over Trevor Lawrence right now.
Yeah, I would.
And so you'd put Trevor at number 10 and have Dak at 11?
Actually, no, because Jordan Love. But I would have Trevor at 10.
Yeah.
I'd have Hurts like up. I know you can't see me in the video. It's like up in the 7 range.
Okay.
I'd bring Hurts and Goff up a little bit. I'd have Trevor at 10.
Okay.
Because also big Brock Purdy guy, and the fact that he's at 17 is just something.
Yep. So then we got Kirk Cousins number 12. A little high, but especially he's not going to be. Is he the franchise guy going forward? Because you just got a guy in Penix, so we'll see. Jordan Love, number 13. Aaron Rod. And I love how they put Jordan Love and Aaron Rod right next to each other.
Yeah.
Little gamesmanship. Baker Mayfield, 15. Kyler Murray, 16. Brock Purdy at 17. Tua Tagovailoa at 18, Geno Smith at 19, and rounding up the top 20, you have Caleb Williams, who on the side is dubbed as the chosen one.
Yeah.
21, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, 22, Daniel Jones, 23, Deshaun Watson, 24, Justin Fields, 25, Will Levis, 26, which, by the way, he's in the ready rookies group, which not a rookie anymore.
No.
Don't use that as an excuse, please. Michael Penix, 27. Jane Daniels, 28. 29 is Bo Nix. And rounding out the list is J.J. McCarthy at 30. And then it just goes down from there.
Crazy.
Bryce Young, by the way, at number 34.
Wild. That's just insane.
And Anthony Richardson at 32.
Behind a free agent, Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Huh.
Once again, I get health is a thing, and we got to see it. But is it pretty disrespectful to put Anthony Richardson at number 32 in the league?
Yeah. Accounting that...
Like behind Jaden Daniels, behind Bo Nix?
Michael Penix isn't going to play.
I know.
Like...
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not with that at
all.
all.
And it's one thing like if he's a rookie, but like, listen, when Richardson was in there, he looked like the man for the job.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't last that long, and decisions in terms of maybe sliding, not taking so much damage, but you hope that he learns from it. But to put him at number, like, I think that's probably the biggest travesty out of this whole list.
Yeah, I think the top is pretty close, in my opinion. I think you take Dak out. I think you throw Trevor in.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Love's right there at, an 11 or potentially a 10 area. I think the top is somewhat decent, but I think the farther down you go, I mean, Brock Purdy's not the 17th best quarterback in the sport. I don't care what you say. And then as you get farther down here, I think bro is just trying to get done, move on to his next thing.
No, without a doubt. And guess what? And Brock Purdy's about to get paid like he's not the top. What was it? He's number
17.
17.
And Tua.
He's probably getting paid. Yeah, and so Tua as well. All those guys kind of fit in the mold. And it's like I've said on the show, I think last week, it almost feels like what's happening right now is like a game of double dutch, of like the jump rope, where you're just kind of waiting to see who's going to go in first here. Because whether it's Tua, Brock Purdy, Trevor, Dak could be, or Jordan Love, because he's due for the contract as well.
True.
They're probably going to all reset the market a little bit. So, like, who do you think jumps in first? Like, to me, I'm thinking Brock Purdy just because, like, if you're Brock Purdy and you're the last pick of the draft, you're making next to nothing. Like, I'm sure you got something from your, player performance bonus, but, like, if you're Brock Purdy and you're telling your agent, like, hey, I get you trying to get me, like, top 3 money, I'll just take $1 million. Like, because, hey, I'm making rookie minimum right now, and I'm the starting quarterback of a Super Bowl runner-up in the 49ers.
Yeah.
Help me out, please.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think the one that should have the motivation, I'm not sure that the Dolphins want to do it, is Tua.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how good Tua is. Like, I remember one of the I know what you said yesterday. I remember one of the last things I did over at the other spot was I did it by hand, so it could have been wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was right. I did Tua's numbers against over 500 teams and Tua's numbers for teams that are less than 500.
Okay.
And against good teams, he was terrible, like bad.
Okay.
So I think Tua's the guy that I think he should be motivated to get it done if you're going to get the big money from Miami. Because if they do let him go, I don't know where else that big money's coming from. That's just my kind of thought on it. And if I was the team, if I was making the decision from the team side, I would want to get it done with Jordan Love because I think Jordan Love's really good.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love's great as well. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, though, so Jordan Love, this one's complicated. Because
they didn't fifth-year option him, but they got like a 1-year deal.
Yeah, so he sat behind Aaron Rodgers, minded his time, and then I think he came in like for a little bit, and then they paid him like a 1-year deal.
They did. They definitely did that.
But he is definitely in line for another contract. So, Casey, let me ask you this then. Who's the first quarterback to get paid, do you think, right now? Like, when we're talking about the summertime, it's slow, there's going to be some NFL breaking news. What's the first domino to fall, do you think, in this quarterback group?
I think it will be Jordan Love.
You think Jordan Love?
Yeah.
Okay. Simply just because...
What else are they going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, like, Trevor can play. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Brock can play. Yeah.
Brock Purdy can play.
Tua can play. Okay, I got you.
And I think you want to one, get it done with Jordan Love, and then get it done for a couple years so you can figure out what else you can do because they're young and good. And although the NFC is very good, like you proved last year when nobody expected you to, that the window is open. It almost feels Jags like from 2 years ago, where it's like, oh, you think it's all of a sudden wide open? Packers might be in that case.
So I'm not sure if you know this guy by the name of Pretty Ricky 213. He's been kind of a prognosticator in terms of dropping some little gems here or there. He's kind of like Dilla is on like the national level. Okay. And this guy, like, you know, he's not always right, but usually he's pretty accurate in terms of things. And he had like the Josh Allen deal before anybody else did. So he's saying that there's direct quote, I'm hearing things are heating up in Duval and the Jags are ready to spend some of Khan's money. And this was yesterday. Now, I get it. This is just one guy on Twitter, but you look at the track record, and it seems like he knows somebody who knows something, and he's dropping these tweets every once in a while. And this one's a Jaguars one, and you hear Khan's money, you assume it's going to be Trevor Lawrence.
What else is there?
Well, what else could there
A
possibly
free agent,
be?
But, like, that's not tweet-worthy
Yeah,
at this point in June.
Yeah. So maybe there are talks of Trevor, Lawrence heating up and everything. Now, also, I'm going to preface it by saying this. Why I can't give this guy 100% credit, because the next tweet was, interesting development in Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy plans to hold out unless he gets 100% of his signing bonus up front. The Vikings have never done this before.
Is that real?
I mean, this is what this guy said. I haven't heard anything about J.J. McCarthy. I mean, maybe I don't know. I'm not a Vikings beat reporter. I've been following J.J. McCarthy.
Huh.
I mean, is that kind of the wrong way to go about being a rookie, though?
Yeah.
Like already making...
I think Zach Wilson did that, something similar to this. Zach Wilson held out in the beginning.
Okay.
I don't remember why.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that would be different.
I guess it worked out for him because if he got the guaranteed money, sure.
Yeah, I mean, he did.
Yeah.
But he's no longer in New York. So it did work out for him, but at the same time, it didn't.
Yeah. So he is holding out, as far as we know right now, and that's probably the reason why. Which...
Weird.
I mean, hey, more power to you. Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, he is the option, right? Like, he's going to be the guy at Minnesota, so if you have the power, why not use it? But that's the other tweet, what I'm trying to say, though, from this guy on Twitter. So let's assume, which I think we all do, that the rumblings of Trevor Lawrence, they're heating up a little bit. You know, me and Brent have done this exercise a little bit here, Kasey. Give me your prediction of what this Trevor Lawrence contract is going to look like. Now, I'm not asking like the total value of it because you can go different directions. Do you front load it? I mean, do you give him AEW stock? You know, you can do a lot of things with it. But I'm saying on an average salary, you know.
It'll be over 50.
Of course, yeah. And right now, if you go by per year, I mean, Joe Burrow is the highest, 55. Jared Goff, 53. Justin Herbert, 52. Lamar Jackson, 52. Jalen Hurts running up the top 5 at 51.
I originally thought that it was going to be over 55. But if they do it right now, I don't think it will be. I think you're talking 52-ish, right where Herbert is. Now,
getting into the math a little bit, though, keep in mind, because we broke this down a couple times on the show, and I think this has been kind of Delphonic's signature here, and it warrants mentioning. $55 million this year is a lot different than what $55 million was going to be when Joe Burrow got paid. Because technically, when Joe Burrow signed his contract, he was making 24% of the roster.
Yeah.
Right? If Trevor Lawrence was to do it, I think you would be in like the 21% range, something like that. So not as much.
Right.
But still a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure. I would be stunned if it is in the 55 at this point because you look at what Burrow's done. Trevor hasn't done a lot of those things. But I do think 52 is the area if it gets done, this offseason.
All right, and then before we go to break here, I think me and Hamby did this one. Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence. And am I missing anybody? Oh, yeah, Tua Tagovailoa. Rank those 5 of who's getting the most money.
Purdy
is getting the most. You think so?
They can't let it sit.
Man. This is where I disagree with you.
If they let it sit, it gets worse.
No, I understand. Like, I get well, I don't get this, but like some are saying that Brock Purdy will play another year and then they'll pay him after that. But like with this roster on San Fran, like they're gonna make another run. Like they're too talented not to, and they're trying to like I guess re-up now. They're saying Brandon Ayuk, keeping Debo. Like there's no reason to believe this team can't go to another Super Bowl. And if that's the case, and Brock Purdy, your starting quarterback, is leading your team to another Super Bowl, he'll probably be the highest paid quarterback there is. So that's why I think it's essential to pay him this year to save a little. Like I think in terms of boom or bust. Like yeah, if you don't pay Trevor this year, you probably have to pay a little bit for him next year. Like obviously it's going to go up. But I think in terms of value right now, in terms of next year, how much you got to pay somebody, the sky's the limit for Brock Purdy.
I agree.
So I'm paying him this year, which I don't think would be even top 5 money.
I think they keep everybody. They make everybody happy, Debo, Ayuk, whatever.
Yeah.
They don't pay Purdy, and they try to run it back.
But
They pay McCaffrey.
Yeah, but if you're Purdy's people, how bad? Like what? And once again, knock on wood, I'm not going to wish injury on anybody. But what happens if Brock Purdy gets hurt?
Yeah, not good. Not good.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
So like, if I'm Purdy, like I'm taking $45 million a year. Like I'm taking a sure thing as opposed because I shouldn't have to gamble myself another year.
I agree with that.
I've taken your team to the Super Bowl. Pay me. But like if I'm John Lynch, the 49ers, I'm like, yeah, we'll pay you. I mean, you're the last pick of the draft. We'll pay you, but it ain't going to be top 3 money right now. We got to see it again.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that.
But sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent.
I think you're right. I just don't think they will. And
Yeah.
I think San Francisco will be great again, and then it'll be Purdy. I think Jordan Love will be second.
Okay.
I think Jordan Love's really good.
Yeah.
I think Trevor will be third.
Okay.
Who were the other? Tua and who?
Tua and then Dak Prescott.
I think Dak's 4, and then I think Tua's last.
Tua's last.
I don't think – I know what you said yesterday. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think Miami does it. I think you get into like not the Justin Fields, how it played out, but I think Tua is a guy that like will go somewhere else for not massive money.
No, I mean,
I don't know what Miami's going to do then.
Yeah,
but
what's the plan then?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I just think I just remember I was blown away by the numbers when he plays good teams. It's not good.
Yeah,
and it's like how many quarterbacks can just throw it deep to Tyreek Hill? Like, can you find that guy?
No, that's
easier said than done. I get it. But
yeah, no, that's you have an offensive genius. It seems like in McDaniel. You have arguably the best wide receiver. If it's not Justin Jefferson, it's Tyreek Hill. I get all this stuff, Casey, but the guy went 11-6 last year, and he led the league in passing in terms of passing yards. It's hard to justify letting that guy walk or just letting that guy say, "Hey, man, we like what you do, but
I hear you. I don't think you're wrong, but I think, and I know he's long term with the Bucs now, but like I think there's a very high probability that Baker Mayfield could have done the same thing if he was the quarterback of the Dolphins. He wasn't.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah,
he will never be.
Sure.
But like, I don't want to get crazy and say Jacoby Brissett could do it, but like, I don't know, man. A lot of their, like, if you go back and watch their highlights, it's can he throw it far? Can the quarterback of the Dolphins throw it far enough? Tua can. He's got a great arm. There's somebody else that can too. I don't know who it is.
Sure, but that's the question.
To look at Tua and go, you're telling me, and I understand what you said yesterday is a good point. You're telling me that this is the only guy that can do this for $50 million? Like, you're telling me we can't find anything else?
Casey, I'm just telling you right now, and I agree with you. Like, do I trust Tua Tagovailoa to make a giant playoff run?
No.
Probably not. No, because I haven't seen.
I think Miami's good though, but no.
No, and I think Miami is super talented. I think they have a lot of weapons that are quarterback friendly. I agree with you on all of that. But once again, if I'm the Dolphins organization, if I'm McDaniel, I have a hard time justifying looking this guy in the face and saying, "We appreciate what you did, but man, you're asking for too like." It's the way the game works. And once again, and unless you want to trade for somebody, unless there's somebody else out there that we're not seeing because you're not going to get somebody in the draft now, like that's gone. Yeah. So it's got to be a free agent or you got to trade for somebody.
You know who would have been, I thought, perfect for them, not to sound like Hamby?
Kirk Cousins. You taking Kirk Cousins over Tua? Because I'll keep him out with Kirk Cousins.
Coming off the injury is hard to say because you haven't seen him.
True, but also with Kirk Cousins, like it helps when you can throw the ball to Adam Thielen back. Well, he had Thielen.
Yeah, Thielen. He had Thielen
You
before
have Justin Jefferson.
I mean,
You had some weapons.
if I knew,
And do you trust Kirk Cousins to win the big one?
I trust that Kirk Cousins can do what Tua does.
I trust Tua more on primetime television than I do Kirk Cousins.
Play the Super Bowl at 1 p.m. I don't know what to tell you. We got to get this guy out of prime time. I don't know.
They're going to play the Super Bowl in London.
9:30. Kirk's like, yeah, I'm ready. I just think that he could have. I think he can do what Tua does to an extent. And I think he'll do it in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback for that, I guess, team. If you have the offensive pieces, which Miami does, which Atlanta does, I think Kirk Cousins fits in well. If you ask Kirk Cousins to if you put Kirk Cousins in Carolina, I don't think so. Mm-hmm. But if you have these talented guys, he can throw it deep, he can make plays. So I thought it would have made sense. Obviously, it goes to Atlanta, doesn't happen. But I don't know. I have a hard time at this point in time justifying paying Tua. Mm-hmm. But that's
all
just
right.
me.
Well, let's quick go to break here. Before we go to break, though, Kasey, so do you see a 5-year deal for Trevor Lawrence? Do you see the 10-year deal like Patrick Mahomes got? Are you seeing 6 years like Josh Allen got? Are you seeing 4 years?
4 to 5.
4 to 5. Yeah, I'm kind of in that 5. It seems to be the trend now is doing 5 years.
Yeah.
But once again, obviously Patrick kind of bucked the system a little bit.
But he's a go.
And give the 10 years. Obviously, yeah, you're gonna invest in him. And I think if you're Shad Khan, it's your chance to get creative now in terms of how to go about this. Can you front load it? Can you give him some of those AEW stock options? You can do a lot of things, and I think that the Jaguars have always been a team that's been kind of at the forefront. Now, people may disagree in terms of going, 2 games in London and everything like that, but, they're kind of the pioneers of doing some things that are outside the box. One would wonder, does Shad Khan structure this thing where it's a little outside the box of how they handle the Trevor Lawrence contract? As soon as it drops one day, we'll probably be here and keeping you up to date. At least if we're on vacation in the next couple weeks,
we'll come in.
That might be I might be out of town. So Brent can do that, man.
Oh, he's
Brent can do it from his cell phone.
Never mind.
Brent can do it from his. Casey will be around though too to drop that Trevor Lawrence contract details. Hopefully they'll get it done before training camp, but crazier things have happened.
Yes, they have.
Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one-card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One-card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Oh, man, it is that time. I love being outside, but it is just so hot. Oh, my gosh, I cannot be outside. Well, it doesn't have to be. As a matter of fact, I've got the perfect solution for you to be able to stay outdoors and not look like this guy.
GW Outdoor Solutions has the solution that will help you create areas of shade with their automated retractable awning. As the summer months inch closer, the high temperatures will be right there too. With GW Outdoor Solutions, go from scorching to cooling in no time with one simple push of a button. These innovative shade solutions not only provide protection from the sun and rain, but also add style and functionality to your home. Let GW Outdoor Solutions transform your backyard into paradise. Check out GWOutdoorLiving.com for your free estimate.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnick Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnick family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles, from Nimnik Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnik Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 0.9% for eligible buyers on Terrains and no payments for 90 days. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnik Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnikbuickgmc.com. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
It's hard to put a price on comfort, especially when you use that comfort on a daily basis. But if we're going to put a price on it, how does the lowest price guaranteed sound? Furniture Source is going to have the biggest brands, whether it's Ashley, Casper, or Tempur-Pedic, and once again, it's going to be the guaranteed lowest price in Jacksonville. Right now, my friends at Furniture Source are going to give you the ultimate hookup because all month long, they're making their inventory wholesale price. Check out their markdowns up to 50% off. And remember, since it's Furniture Source, you're getting the guaranteed lowest prices in Florida or your money back. Don't have the cash on you right now? It's no worry. Shop endless options to suit your style and budget and enjoy 36 months off with no interest financing. Why use your money when you can use theirs? Whether it's beds, couches, tables, or chairs, Furniture Source is going to have exactly what you're looking for. Shop the lowest prices in Jacksonville guaranteed. Find the location nearest you at FurnitureSourceJax.com.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Austen and Kasey Summertime Spectacular, still trademarked. Day 3 of the Summertime Spectacular, and if those of you in the chat are liking what you hear, well, you might get more of us down the line. I'm going to give you a little appetizer right now. Working on possibly a wrestling podcast.
That's what they say.
A wrestling
checked my email.
podcast that could, and listen, I can't give too many details, right? I can't say that we're probably going to debut it maybe before SummerSlam. Okay, I can't tell you guys all that. Obviously, it's like, it's hush-hush right now, so I can't say it's probably going to be called Scrap House with Austen and Kasey. That's Scrap House with Austen and Kasey. Probably can't say that either, Kasey, right? I can't say it.
Right.
But, yeah, there's just some things in the works right now, and
I think we just got confirmation on a producer.
Oh, well, listen.
I can't say that.
I can't say that we might have a producer all lined up, ready to go, so the show's on. I can't say any of that, Kasey, and I definitely can't say that it might be airing Wednesdays before AEW. I can't say any of it. I wish I could.
Yeah.
But I can't say any of it.
That's tough.
So what are you going to do, man? But take that for how you want. By the way, before we get into some more Jaguars talk, the role of professional wrestling in terms of WWE right now, not sure if people have been watching it at all, but really up in the sexuality and the old school era of wrestling.
Yeah, it's pretty intriguing if you're not watching on Mondays mostly. Yeah, they got a lot going on with Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, a big part in this.
Yes.
A relationship somewhat blooming, if you will.
Yes.
At least that's what Liv's going for.
Yeah.
Dirty Dom, not interested. Which, shout out to him, bro.
Yeah. So real quick, it's definitely like a lover's storyline, you'd call it in professional wrestling. And, You know, Dom was with Rhea Ripley, who he referred to her as mommy, already super aggressive, okay? And then mommy gets hurt, a.k.a. Rhea Ripley, and then in comes Liv Morgan, and then Liv Morgan's trying to call him daddy. And
all things said on the air.
And this is all said on the air. Once again, hey, Triple H, I got a 9-year-old, okay? I have a 9-year-old who watches wrestling with me religiously, and I got to explain, wait, how come Liv Morgan's wants to get called daddy? I'm like, dude, I can't do this with you right now. But like that's where we're at, Kasey. But it almost like harkens back to my childhood when like I was a big Rock fan, obviously. And one time, and I can repeat this because I don't get in trouble, but The Rock mentioned something on TV about a certain part of the female anatomy I'd never heard before. And I turned to my parents and I go, "What is that?" And they both looked at each other like, "We're not." I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll just not say it ever again because I said something bad because The Rock was saying it, so it's cool."
Made sense.
Well, that's what we're dealing with right now with Dom and Rhea and Liv. So
yeah, it's definitely interesting. I would say it's a slow build, but it's not.
Yeah.
But the problem is I don't know where it's going.
Yeah, no, you have no idea where it's going.
Because as far as it sounds like, Rhea Ripley's not coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, for sure.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it, but it is definitely not WWE of like 2 years ago.
Without a doubt. And don't worry, since we talked wrestling, we're going to have some golf talk later. I think, Kasey, you have an interview that we'll be sharing probably in the next hour or so. But speaking of interviews, we talked about Trevor Lawrence a little bit in terms of how much will he get paid, what it's going to look like, the EPA, what does that all mean? But let's be honest, Kasey. Like, I think we're both Trevor Lawrence believers. Like, the guy has shown the talent, right? You got to clean up the fumbles a little bit, clean up the turnovers. But what this comes down to is, number one, his receivers being on the right page is important. But most importantly, I think we can all agree on the offensive line.
Absolutely.
And I think we have Brent here, not live, obviously, but Brent sat down with Bill Rauscher, the offensive line coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What's your approach to fixing that short yardage of the last couple of years? And how much does it need to be fixed? Is it more perception on the outside that needs to be fixed, or is that an internal focus?
I mean, one, it needs to get better, period. And I think that part of that's mentality, part of that's mindset, part of that's, you know what, we just got to run some plays and do it. You know what I mean? We got to build an identity that on 3rd and 1, like, we're going to run this play. We're not going to try to be cute. We're not going to try to out-scheme you. We're going to run this play, and our guys, we feel confident, are good enough to do it. And you got to effing stop it. I mean, like, I think that we've been studying it, we've been working at it, and that's all well and good. I mean, like, at the end of the day, we got to go do it. You know what I mean? And it's 3 feet we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, let's get better at getting 3 feet. You know what I mean? And the analytics team, a lot of resources here have done a really good job studying that. You know, it's not just us, and we've been studying who does it really well and who does it against what. Because, it's a mixed bag of different things of why it went poorly at different times, whether that be what we did, somebody fell down, you know what I mean? And you only get so many limited opportunities, and they're so magnified because of their importance that at the end of the day, like, the perception is we're not good at it, and perception is normally reality. So let's get better at that. If we convert more 3rd and 1s, we're going to be a better football team. So we just need to, again, that goes into building an identity, not being a mixed bag of stuff, and deciding we're just going to pound somebody for 3 feet.
How good was Anton, or was he good? And where's he going?
I think Anton was extremely good. I think that, if you look at rookies across the board, and going off past he did a really good job. If you really look at like his matchups and who was going against him, he went against some of the best in the league, and he did a really fine job. Now, he took his lumps early, and that happens. You got to be really happy as an organization, as a coach, as a player, on how he responded as the year went on. I think that he has the potential of really being a really great tackle here for years to come, and I think that where we're going with the run game and what we're doing is going to benefit a guy like him. Where he can just put his hand in the ground, get a 3-point stance, and go. I think that's going to be good for him. But I think Brandon coming back is going to help him because the continuity there of those two guys playing next to each other and different things. And I think at the end of the day, he's got an opportunity to be really foundational player for this organization.
How tough a spot is this for Walker? And how hard is that to coach a guy that when he's played well, but there right now doesn't seem like there's room for him to play?
Walker has played well, and Walker's a damn good football player. And, you sit there and you're in my seat and you say, well, I got 3 really good tackles. You know what I mean? And you sit there and you're in Walker's seat or Cam's seat or Anton's seat and you're like, shit, there's 3 really good tackles here. One of us isn't gonna be able to play. But the reality is they're all gonna play. At some point, somehow, some way, that is the reality of what the NFL is, and we're lucky for that. Walker has put really good tape on really good film on. He's got good tape, whatever. And at the end of the day, I'm sure he'll be rewarded for what he's put on tape. It's not hard to coach Walker. Walker does exactly what you ask him to do, and he does it really, really well. And I think Walker understands the importance of this season to his personal life in terms of like where the contract and different things go. But and coach has said this, and perception is like the tackle positions are locked up, but like we're in a spot where like the depth chart is open. We got to play the best 5, however that plays out. Now, it hasn't been like Walker's played a lot of positions for us since he's been here, and that maybe hasn't been fair to him. You know what I mean? Like he's been to guard, he's been to there, he's been to here. Like, hey, do this, do that, and he's, you know what? Every dime he's been okay, and he goes and he does it to the best he can. So now that he can kind of put himself in one spot and let's go compete. Let's go see where we're at and see how that plays out. So there's a lot of time left before our first game in terms of competition for us, and then we can go throw it out there against somebody else.
Jaguars offensive line coach Phil Rauscher may have dropped a little bit of an S-bomb, but we're all good.
Hey.
Oh, who noticed that?
The intensity, right?
You got to have that intensity.
As the offensive line coach doing interviews, got to have the intensity.
I mean, dude, if you didn't drop at least one curse, like, are you even an offensive line coach? Or a defensive? I feel like a defensive line coach, too, as well. Interesting points, though, with Walker Little.
Yeah.
Like, you think back to the past decade here in Jacksonville, and it's kind of been a story of drafting players, not using them properly, playing them out of position, not getting the best out of them. Like that's been kind of a thing that's floated around for a while now. Has anybody maybe been more disrespected, it seems like, than Walker Little in terms of how he's been used and how he's been managed here on this team?
It's crazy, man. I mean, just going back to last year, you started the season without Cam, and I don't think there's any question that through your first 4 weeks, Walker Little was your best offensive lineman at the left tackle position. And then Cam comes back and you go, yeah, left guard. We're feeling it. And bro's not a left guard. But he deserved to be on the field, but he just wasn't a left guard. And now you heard Phil Rauscher there, like, sure, they can say they're in competition, but there's no scenario where Cam Robinson isn't the left tackle of the Jags, right?
I mean, like, unless you trade him. Well, yeah, you're not going to cut him.
You're not going to bench him, is my point.
Yeah, and you're paying him way too much money to be able to bench him.
So, yeah, I mean,
it's going to be a trade, and realistically, if it's this early, it'll probably be for a little less than you want.
Right.
Because I don't think a team's like really desperate yet. Or, it'll be Walker Little rotating in someplace, which is, like, listen, is Walker Little a bona fide stud? I really don't know. But here's the issue with that. How long has he been in the league now? He got drafted
by
2021.
Yeah.
So he's been in the league for a couple years now. Mm-hmm. And you're a second-round pick, so you're expected to come in and contribute. And we don't know yet. Like,
we don't know he's great. We know he's good.
We know he's good, but we don't know if he's the guy or not yet. Like, I mean, honestly, because if he was the guy, he would be the guy. He would be playing left tackle. Mm-hmm. So we're not 100% confident yet. And to sit here and have that conversation is wild to me. Because you should know, like, obviously first-round picks. You know if you hit or not, right? Like, yeah, Trayvon Walker the first year, what is it, 2.5 sacks? Okay, but we know now. Mm-hmm. You got your guy, and they knew in Hutchinson and Detroit. They had their guy, right? We don't know yet, I feel like, with Walker Little. And he's coming up on a new contract pretty soon. So it's like, I don't know. And also, to be fair, if I'm Walker Little, I probably want to go someplace where I'm guaranteed going to be a starter.
Oh, I'd be mad.
Yeah.
I would definitely be mad if I was Walker Little. But that's why now 2 years ago, when they drafted Anton Harrison, I was confused. Mm-hmm. Because you had paid Cam, so you weren't going to cut him, right? And you had lost Jawan Taylor, but you had Walker Little. So I was like, all right, they're going to go make Walker Little play right tackle.
Correct.
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
But then you draft another one. Like, that's the point where if I'm Walker Little, I'm like, bro, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Like, and Cam had just been suspended, right? So you're going to miss a couple games. But, like, you don't draft a player in the first round because of a 4-game suspension. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like, there's definitely bigger plans than that. So that's the part where I'm just like, or I was like, this ain't right, because Walker Little, when on the field at a tackle, because at guard it's been questionable, but at tackle he's been good. So I get it. They love the depth. That's fine. But, like, you're right. You picked him in the second round. You're going to have to give him a new contract, because I think he's good enough to start as somebody's left tackle in the NFL. I don't know how great he is.
Yeah.
To your point. But
that says everything right there, Casey.
Yeah.
We're how many years into his career, and we don't even know if he's the guy or not yet. Mm-hmm. And we should not be having those conversations with a second-round draft pick that was selected in 2021.
I agree with that.
Simple as that. Hey, Nick, how about before we go to break, let's go ahead and share. Marcel Robinson obviously does the weekly Georgia Bulldogs report. Let's go ahead and share that right now if we got it ready to go.
Welcome to the Georgia Bulldogs Report, as always presented by GW Outdoor Solutions. The Bulldogs baseball team saw their season come to an end on Tuesday night as they fell to NC State in the Athens Super Regional. Georgia struck first but couldn't slow down the Wolfpack after the second inning. SEC Player of the Year Charlie Condon hit a solo home run in the bottom of the ninth, his 37th of the year, one of the best to ever do it in red and black. The Dogs finished the season with 43 wins, their best result since 2019. The Lady Bulldogs track team concluded the NCAA championship meet with 25 points for 10th place in a tie with USC and Texas A&M. They've now placed in the top 10 during 8 of the last 10 seasons. As far as outstanding performers go, Georgia junior high jumper Elena Kulichenko won her first national high jump title as the NCAA Outdoor Championships wrapped up on Saturday. On the men's side, Georgia finished 9th on Friday with 25 points, marking the 7th straight top 10 performance for the Bulldogs at that particular meet. Switching over to the future of women's golf, Morgan Smith, the Big East Freshman of the Year and a first-team All-Big East performer for Georgetown last season, has signed a letter of intent to continue her collegiate career with the Bulldogs. She tallied 5 top 10 finishes in 9 stroke play events with the Hoyas and leaves Georgetown ranked 2nd all-time in season stroke average. Smith is the 3rd transfer to join the Bulldogs since Erica Brennan was named head coach. She's certainly off to a great start when it comes to building a roster that can claim the program's 5th national championship. That'll do it for the Georgia Bulldogs Report, as always presented by GW Outdoor Solutions. Don't let the summer months keep you from enjoying the outdoor fun. Let them turn your backyard into paradise. Check out GWOutdoorLiving.com for more information and set up your free estimate.
We all have our favorite spots in town to eat, drink, and have a good time. And once in a while, we try a new spot. This new spot will soon become your favorite spot. It's 1937 Spirits and Eatery in San Marco. Where else can you get unicorn fish? It was really good. They have local fresh seafood. Try a terrific burger or a Jack's Hot Chicken sandwich. The ambiance is perfect for any occasion.
The idea here is to have fun, have a good time. Whether you're chilling out on the couches, cozying up to the bar, having lunch or dinner, it's a throwback experience. 1937, when going out to dinner was like going to a party. They even have a photo booth. Who doesn't like a good photo booth?
We recently brought the entire team out to try it, and everyone said, I'm bringing my significant other here to try it as well. The new spot becomes your favorite spot. Make 1937 Spirits and Eatery in San Marco your new favorite spot.
What started out as better people, better projects just keeps getting, well, better. That's Better Exterior Solutions, ready to help you create a better outdoor experience. Check this out. Motorized pergolas are the latest in technology to transform your outdoor space. Beautiful day? Let the sun shine through. Summer rainstorm? These pergola systems close automatically to keep the weather out. From residential to commercial uses, Better Exterior Solutions has products customized to meet virtually any existing architectural structure. With retractable awnings, screens, and hurricane shutters too, if you want unparalleled quality and expertise, you need Better Exterior Solutions. Get a free estimate by visiting betterexteriors.com or calling 904-902-4999. Better Exterior Solutions. Experience better.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
The friendliest golf course in town, the Golf Club at Southampton. Local golfers have no shortage of options when it comes to picking a course to play here in Northeast Florida year-round. Yet time and time again, I find myself here at the Golf Club at Southampton. Easy to get to off 210 in St. Johns County. It's family-owned and operated and renowned for being one of the area's most player-friendly. That's just one of the reasons we hold the Action Sports Jax Dream 18 charity golf tournament here each fall. The Mark McCumber design layout is great for all skill levels of golfers, from the guys who bomb it a mile on the range to golfers like me who are just happy to put it in the fairway, which Southampton has very accommodating fairways. And if you need new clubs, come down to the pro shop. They'll fit you up and get you a nice new set like they did for me. For more information on membership or to book a tee time and see for yourself, head over to golfsouthampton.com or call the clubhouse at 904-287-7529. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the official home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18. Make it your home for golf too.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access.
Welcome to String Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence.
You can bring your party or event to String Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back. It's the Austen and Kasey Summertime Spectacular. Brent Martineau on family vacay. Hope he's enjoying his time off. Hopefully he's not worrying about us too much of burning the whole building down. I think we're doing all right so far.
Hey, we're here.
Cars on the road for the most part. Hey, I'll tell you what, we have some off-road tires if we need them.
We got them.
You know what I'm saying? But we did talk a little wrestling, maybe tease a newer podcast coming out sometime next month, hopefully, with myself and Casey Kurtz. But since we did talk some wrestling, well, then, Case, you know how the show works, right? You got to balance it out a little bit.
You got to balance it.
Can't talk about Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley without talking some golf.
You have to.
Simply as that, and I think you have some golf stuff for us here.
I do. It's the week of the U.S. Open, the third major of the year.
I've heard of it.
A lot of storylines with that. Scottie Scheffler won last week, if you're just checking in. Basically wins every time he doesn't get arrested. So, as it looks right now, has not been arrested, so is definitely the favorite to win the U.S. Open. But on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, there's all kinds of programming that you can catch after this program. And after this program today, the Stripe Show podcast is one of those things talking about golf here locally with Travis Fulton. Yesterday morning before the show, I will look a little different in the video because it was yesterday morning, but I caught up with Travis Fulton talking about what his show is, if you haven't caught it yet, and a little bit about the U.S. Open. One of the newest additions to the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network talks all about golf, and we are talking with the man that brings it to you each and every week. That's Travis Fulton, and it is the Stripe Show podcast. Travis, thank you for joining us, man, and for our viewers, for our listeners that haven't checked out the show yet, brand new to the network, why don't you let our viewers know what they're going to be hearing and seeing when they tune into your show right here on the network?
Yeah, I'm super excited to have a studio right here in Jacksonville, down by Nocatee. And the Stripe Show podcast, as you mentioned, I've been doing for just over 2 years, and super excited to bring it to your fan base there. Basically, it's all things golf. Every week we do an instructional pod. I'm a teacher by trade, so we have the top teachers in the game come on and join me, and we're talking about all kinds of topics from full swing, short game to putting, things that are going to help your game, but also how the best players in the world are training out there on tour. And then the second show each week, which we're about ready to shoot here, is kind of all things U.S. Open. So we do a full breakdown, a little bit of a gambling twist on who we like this week on the PGA Tour. It's a big week. Pinehurst, of course, right up the road here from Jacksonville, number 2, third major of the year. So we're trying to figure out an angle on just maybe a small chance Scottie Scheffler doesn't win again, but it's difficult to find that angle. The guy's been dominant.
Yeah, Scottie's been incredible, and I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to bring it up later, but let's go to it now. I'm looking at one of your tweets from the other day. You said Scottie stays out of jail next week. He wins by 4. And I mean, is that where we are at this point? Like, what in the world? This guy's incredible.
He is incredible. I mean, he's always been the best in the world when it comes to tee to green. I mean, the guy keeps it in front of him off the tee. His iron game is second to none. I mean, at Memorial, he gained 13 strokes in approach, which is unheard of. I mean, that's, back in Tiger's day of dominance in 2000 and 2001, that's what we were seeing from Tiger at that time, just to give it some context. His short game, I think, is one of the best in the game, and now he's figured out a putt. His putter is not a weakness, and so he's a complete package. And yeah, I think if he jokingly stays out of jail this week in Pinehurst, he's going to win. I think he would have won the PGA if that unfortunate situation didn't happen. Pinehurst number 2 is a perfect scenario for him. I mean, all these guys, there's certain courses that fit them. I think for Scottie and how dominant he is off the tee and the way that his iron game is dialed in, certainly with the short game, just Pinehurst number 2 is just really the perfect setup for him. So if he continues in form, I fully expect him to win by 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's almost a given at this point with Scottie. You mentioned Tiger and the dominating run. I was like 5 years old, so I can't really draw those comparisons, but a lot of people are. You just did. How close is it, honestly? Like, do you truly watch it and go, this reminds me of Tiger, or is it just because he's dominant and we really haven't seen anything since Tiger?
I think it's the closest to it, that we've seen. What Scottie has 5 wins in the calendar year this year, 5 wins, couple seconds, I think sprinkle a 5th and an 8th in there in his last 9 starts, somewhere in there. You go back to Tiger. I mean, Tiger won 6 in a row. I think he did it twice.
Right.
So we're not quite there yet. Tiger was dominant off the tee in his day, longer than everybody else, also very accurate. His iron game, Tiger's probably the best iron player to ever play the game. His short game was second to none. Tiger's putter, I think, was a strength as well. And Scotty is certainly, his putter's improved. I don't think he's near where Tiger is. I think Tiger, just certainly in his presence and mental toughness, you certainly give him the edge there as well. I mean, it's an unfair comparison, for years to compare anybody to Tiger Woods, but I think for the first time, we're seeing someone at least close that gap some and have similar dominance that we saw from Tiger back in the day.
It's truly unbelievable, and it is crazy to watch if you're a golf fan or even just a casual. Like, he's just dominating in ways that you haven't seen in a long time. Travis Fulton with us, the Stripe Show podcast. He was just talking about when he's going to record it. You can hear it right here and see it right here on Wednesdays, 2 p.m. on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. When you talk, we just talked about Scotty, and I'm with you, probably going to win. But let's just say for fun he doesn't, right? Let's just say somebody else who's a professional golfer may actually win one of these events at some point. Scotty doesn't. When you look at the majors of the last couple of years, it feels like there's always one winner that's like, I never saw that coming. Wyndham Clark, Brian Harman. It happened a couple times last year, but it's happened a couple times in the U.S. Open. You go back to Gary Woodland a little bit, kind of out of nowhere. We've had two pretty dominant winners. I mean, Xander Schauffele, for my book, is one of the best. He just hadn't won. A casual golf fan may not be there, but the people that are watching the PGA Tour every week know that. If it's not Scotty, do you think we're getting a little of a random winner? Do you think we'll see another big-time name win this U.S. Open?
It feels like another big-time name, this year. Wyndham Clark missed the cut in his last two U.S. Opens before winning the U.S. Open last year. I think even Fitzpatrick, when he won at the Country Club, was we knew who he was, but for him to go out and win, I think perhaps was a little bit of a surprise. We've seen it in years past. Michael Campbell, you go way back in the day. I mean, it does happen where you do get that surprise. It's golf. I mean, at Pinehurst number 2, you can get into that gorse. You hit it off fairway and you start getting into these unusual situations, and you try to hack it out of there and it doesn't come out. You can make a triple, a quad pretty easily. But that doesn't even slow Scotty down. He made a triple bogey last week at Memorial and still won, which is unheard of. But I think it does feel like right now the leaderboard's going to be stacked with some bigger names. I think Colin Morikawa is playing some just brilliant golf right now. We give Victor Hovland a lot of credit for the improvement of his short game. I think Morikawa's, deserves to be in that conversation as well. His short game has really improved. I think he's putting very well right now. So he brings in a game that has no weaknesses, which you need. You mentioned Xander. I think Xander ran out of gas a little bit last week over the weekend. I look for him to be recharged. I would not be surprised to see Xander go back-to-back. He's that kind of player. Certainly has to have the most confidence he's had right now in winning the PGA Championship. Bryson DeChambeau, if you go to live, no one's probably playing better golf than him when it comes, from that tour. But yeah, it's tough to go further down from that. Where do you go? Hideki Matsuyama, I think, is a guy that plays U.S. Open courses very well. Is his health intact? I think as far as I would probably go down and give you two names, at 60 to 1, probably like a Sepp Straka. I think Sepp Straka is playing some really good golf right now and kind of brings the complete package. He plays difficult courses very well. So I think I would sprinkle a little on him, at least for a top 20. And then, look, Will Zalatoris is always intriguing to me. He's always intriguing to me. He's down there at 60, 70 to 1. He's played well in major championships. He's got that pedigree as far as ball striking. So yeah, I think I would probably even go there a little bit, even though his recent form hasn't been exactly what we've seen from Will in the past. But yeah, it's you're trying to make cases, right? Like you're trying to make cases. Let's just say if this guy is on the first page of the leaderboard on a Sunday, does he have what it takes to go up and beat a Scotty Scheffler, to beat a Colin Morikawa? I don't know. I think Will's one of those guys, and I think Sepp Straka is too.
Yeah, I like those. Those are two solid names there as you go down the field a little bit. Where are we at on Rory McIlroy? Just in general, where are we at on that guy?
I can't believe. Look, it's interesting. That's a really good question. We talk about Rory a lot, obviously, on the podcast, and there's so much with Rory that's intriguing on the golf course in the way that he plays the game. No one's more dominant with the driver. If you go watch a professional event, that's one guy you're going to go watch hit that club. You know, it's that special. I've always said over the last probably 4 or 5 years, if you have the attention of two guys, I think they're must watch. One is Rory and two is Dustin Johnson. I don't know how much of the attention we have of DJ right now. Where's Rory's head off the course? He's taken on a lot when it comes to being the face of the PGA Tour. I think he took a lot of beating, you know, from being kind of the face out there on the tour. He's kind of backed off at that with the advisory board now and has flip-flopped with his position on LIV and different things. So he's taken on a lot, but he's so talented that if he does start making putts, and it always seems with Rory, there's always one round where the putter goes cold. And so if that doesn't happen, he will be a factor. And even if he does shoot 2 or 3 over one day, Rory chasing is the best in the game. I mean, he's going to then come out and shoot a 67 when the average for that day is like 74, right? Like he just has that kind of firepower. And so I don't know if I'm answering your question because it's hard to answer that question with Rory. Where exactly are we at? I think he's always a factor. Do we have his peak attention right now? I'm not sure. You know, I'm not sure. He probably is going to say yes, but there just seems to always be a lot of other things going on with Rory. I'm going to steer clear of him this week and elect to go for some other guys on the top of the board. Obviously, Scotty Scheffler is the most obvious, but I would probably even lean even towards Morikawa before I would McIlroy.
Yeah, no, I think it's a solid answer because that's basically the situation with Rory. If he's locked in, he's probably winning. But there's a lot of stuff going on with Rory off the course and everything. So I think it was a good answer. Travis Fulton with us. All right, so you're talking about betting. You're talking about betting on golf, and I think for people that don't really live in that world, they're thinking, "Oh, I'm betting on who's going to win." But there's so much more to kind of placing a wager on golf than just deciding who's going to win. Sure, you can do that, but you mentioned it. There's top 5s, there's top 10s. So if you could just kind of explain to our listeners that don't participate in this, kind of what you look at when you're placing a bet.
Yeah, I think it's got the betting theme to it. We're talking about a lot. Keith Stewart joins me every week. He's on site, which is great. Keith is a PGA professional in the industry who kind of follows the tour in a different way and really brings a lot of insight from, you know, at the facility as far as how the course is going to play, et cetera. So, you know, he's really sharing a lot of things, not only who he thinks can win and trying to find some odds there, but also some top 20s. And if you're really trying to make some, you know, a little bit of money betting, the best way to do that is the head-to-head matchups. I mean, that's your best way, you know, and he's really good at that. And you can follow him at Read the Line. And so it's got that, you know, kind of undertones of betting, but we're talking about a lot of things in golf. We're talking about a lot of the big topics in golf and sharing our thoughts and opinions on what's happening. And there's been no shortage of those. So it's been the podcast business has been good when it comes to, you know, talking about all things professional golf, because there's so much happening, as you know, with LIV Golf and, you know, now PGA Tour Enterprises, et cetera, and being able to, you know, share with the viewers some insight on what's happening there and giving our opinions. But the other angle, and I'll just finish with this, is, you know, the other pod that we do is the Instruction Pod, which, you know, frankly is the most popular. And I just did a pod on Monday, and I think it's going to be launching on your guys' site today. I did a pod on all things Scotty Scheffler and basically what he's doing when he looks at his grip, Casey. You know, he just looks at his grip so specifically in the way that he applies his hands. I always tell people, try to find someone in your life that looks at you and spends as much time with you as Scotty Scheffler does his own grip, right? The number 1 player in the world is so meticulous in the way that he applies his grip. It's unbelievable. So I shared basically what he's doing there and the checkpoints that he has with the grip, the full swing grip, and the putting grip. Keep in mind, he made a lot of changes with Phil Kenyon, and it's worked. And what were those changes? and how did it affect his putting. So the instruction theme is the most popular. That's what people know me from the most for. So it's a good balance of breakdown and PGA Tour tournaments, but also a little bit of instruction every week.
I like it. And you can hear it right here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Before I let you go, talk to me about this studio that I call it a studio, but there's weights, this is an incredible setup. What we got going here?
Well, check it out. I'm gonna spin the camera here.
Okay.
Ready for this. Okay, so we're spinning the camera over to the main function. Yeah. So there's the simulator. All right. So we've got the full instruction. My partner in club fitting is True Spec. They're getting ready to do a full day of club fitting today. So we've got the instruction. We've got club fitting with True Spec, and then Peak Fitness and Performance is my partner here on the fitness side. So you can see this leg here is for them. So it's kind of a fun three-legged animal, if you will: instruction, club fitting, and fitness. You can do the individual programs for adults, but then also we have the junior classes with the junior camps this summer, after-school programs, and all that. So it's been a fun project. Where I'm sitting right now is for the podcast, but also it's a 6-seater bar. So all this comes down, and then we do a lot of entertainment out of here, Kasey, from the corporate side. So we've done a lot of events. You can do a really fun customer appreciation, team building for your employees. Get 20 to 25 people in here. Do a fun 2 to 3 intimate event where you really feel like you're making an impact. So it's been fun. We're doing well, and we're excited to see where it takes us.
That is an unbelievable setup. It looks so cool.
Thank you.
That is awesome. Travis Fulton, the Stripes Show podcast. You can hear it and see it right here. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Travis, enjoyed the U.S. Open. Appreciate your time, man.
All right. Thank you.
You can see Travis today, 2 p.m. every Wednesday with the Stripe Show podcast, you'd call it. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Look at Kasey showing off the interview chops like he never lost it, man.
Hey,
nicely done.
It turns out I can actually still do this a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. You were surprised that I was able to throw it. Not surprised. You were impressed with the
skill
interview throw to there. And then the interview, I'm just back like I never left.
Yeah. Listen, Scotty Scheffler, a big part of that interview, a big part of that conversation. Kasey, does the PGA Tour need to do a complete makeover for Scotty Scheffler? Because I'll be honest, this is coming from a very casual fan. Mm-hmm. The guy does absolutely nothing for me. Now, I get he's a winner, and it's greatness and all that stuff, and I understand that. But boring as the day is long. Okay, I mean, to the point where he got arrested and didn't even say who he was, didn't even purvey that, and he got thrown in the slammer because of it.
Yeah, they got him.
If I get arrested, I'm the number one golfer in the world. You know what I'm going to say first? You're arresting the number one golfer in the world.
It's a good call.
And I probably won't get arrested. What is this going to look like? Like, he's obviously a favorite for a reason. He could go out and win this whole thing. Like, will we ever see the rise of Scotty Scheffler to the point where it's almost like a reincarnation of the hype that Tiger Woods had, or is it just he's in his own little lane? Because I'll be honest, I need something, Kasey. I need the Charlie Hull effect, okay? I need a girl smoking cigarettes on a golf course, and I'll tune into NBC and watch what she's doing.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I don't think you're going to get it with Scotty, ever. I just think, he is who he is, and, he's real, big into, his faith and, his family. That's just who he, that's nothing wrong with it.
That's admirable.
That's just what you're never going to get any of those viral moments because, like you said, you had the opportunity. So you get arrested, they screwed up, then you go back, you play golf that day, and then you get the press conference after. It's like, okay, this is the time.
This is the moment.
He's going to let him. He didn't do it. So if he didn't do it then, he's never going to do it. You're never going to get that. I will say, from golf fans, he people have loved him before he was good. He always had the frat boy following is what I called it.
Okay.
You always had that. So there was always a good amount of people that liked Scotty before. Now that he's great, the golf fans will always be there for him.
Okay.
But to your point, I don't think you're ever getting the casual fan like you to gravitate to Scotty Scheffler because you're never getting anything that if you're not excited by him winning golf tournaments much better and by bigger leads than people do, you'll never be in.
But then I feel you there, but listen, I'm an athlete. and I can appreciate greatness. Like what he's done has been outstanding. I mean, I guess like the question is, can he just keep on winning like he is? Like, say he wins this one coming up, okay, and then he goes on to win like another major. Like, will it get to the point where people can't deny not tuning in because everyone wants to watch that greatness? It's almost like the Caitlin Clark effect a little bit. Like Caitlin Clark press conferences, Caitlin Clark outside of basketball. It's not crazy. It's not like Angel Reese.
Right.
Like I don't see Caitlin Clark going to the Met Gala, but we all watch Caitlin Clark because, well, a lot of records, but also just what it looks like. We know we're watching greatness. With golf, it's different, right? Because I think it's hard to showcase. It's more boring greatness, but there gets to a point where it's like you can't deny him. Like this guy is special. Like, what will it take for us to get to that point?
I mean, so basically, I'm almost positive this is the number, but I might be one off. I believe he's won since the Arnold Palmer, which is in March. He's won 6 of 8 starts. And the 2 that he didn't win, one of the times he got arrested. So, there's that. So then let's just say he wins this one. Then he will have won the Masters. He will have won the Players. He will have won the U.S. Open. Going into the last major of the year, I'll ask you this question. After I just told you all that, he wins all the time. He will have won 2 of 3 majors, 3 of 4 primetime events.
Yeah.
Will you watch?
Probably not, man.
There you go.
Probably not.
So, okay, let's say he wins the U.S. Open. He then wins the Open.
Sure.
Next year, when you get to the Players, knowing that he won 3 or 4 majors in the Players last year, will you watch?
I mean, I'd probably consider it, probably not. I mean,
there you go.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
There you go. I mean, that's just it's so improbable to win this many times that you have if you're Scottie Scheffler because, and again, if you don't follow golf, I understand this, but there's 120 other dudes who are damn good. Really trying to win. And Scottie wins every time.
Yeah.
So, if he keeps doing this, it keeps getting more improbable. But it's in a way, if you're not a golf like you, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's doing the same thing just over and over again. So it's almost like for a casual, if I saw Scottie win one time, well, he's still going to hit driver off the tee, still going to hit putter on the green. You know what I mean? Where it's if you're watching, there it is. So what is it? Okay, it's 3. There's 3 that he didn't win, but he's won.
I'm looking at EPA ratings right now, but go ahead.
Yeah, he's okay. So it's 5 of 8. 5 of his last 8 since then. That was a good pull. And then there's a second place in there. There's an 8th place. There's 2 second places in there, by the way. So dude hasn't finished outside the top 10 in this year, in 2024. Oh, one time.
One time.
In January.
Sorry, yeah.
He hasn't done it since January. So I think there's a lot of it where it's okay, if I've seen him win once, I've always seen him win. Versus let's just take the UFC, right? You are never ever going to have the exact same fight.
No, hell no.
So it's like when
or the same champion for more than probably 4 or 5 fights nowadays.
Right. So if you want to see that, you'll watch Conor McGregor fight more than one time.
Yes.
Because he might knock the dude out in the first round here. This one might go to decision though. So it's there's always something different to see.
Correct. Yeah.
I see people with golf where it's for the most it's the same thing. The courses change, but the style of play is the same. So I just think if you're not into Scottie Scheffler now, because this might be the peak, you don't know.
Sure.
He might never be greater than he is right now. So if you're not in now, you're never going to be in. I don't think.
Man, I guess you're not wrong. But is it a little liability on the PGA then to try to pump him up more? Because I obviously, the guy's personality, we get it. Close to your faith, and I'm not. I think there's something to be said for a guy who knows exactly who he is, who's not going to bend or break for anybody. I respect that. As an athlete, I respect that. So good for him for doing that. Does it fall on the PGA Tour then to say, we have this maybe generational type player, how can we get him out to the masses?
Yeah, I just think there's only so much, I just think there's only so much you can push with Scottie Scheffler. I mean, if this doesn't, and I get it, not everybody loves seeing other people make money, but if this doesn't kind of slam home the point of how good he is, He's made $24 million in winnings.
Not
There's
bad.
3 months left of the season. 2 majors still to go.
Not bad.
And those are where the biggest purses are. So it's just what would you want to see from him? Like what could you go on Twitter
I
right
don't know,
now?
man.
And if bro's grittying, are you in? Because he's never going to grit. You know what I mean? But like,
I
there's
mean,
just, he's never going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, if he somehow like embraced a heel role, like I mentioned this with Brent, and then we'll take a break here or something. I'm going to black out from all this golf talk that I'm doing right now, but I'm trying my best. I have this idea with Brent, and this is more of like along the lines of like professional wrestling or MMA, but like you have live golf, right? Like now, I didn't feel any type of way about live golf. Because once again, I'm a very casual fan, and if players are making more money, then more power to them. Because it's a lot like when the UFC was bought up by PFL, or not the UFC, but like when Bellator and PFL worked together, and like fighters from the UFC were going to PFL to get more. I'm like, hey, if you can get more money, get more money. Like that's the whole point. That's why we do this. I think it's the same thing with golf as well. So live never bothered me at all. But I think it's cool how like there is some animosity built up. Like there is some storylines in terms of like how they don't really like each other. Well, then showcase that. Have like a live versus PGA. Now I think live probably needs the PGA Tour more than PGA Tour needs live. But I think if you want to bring attention to maybe the casuals, you tell a story. You tell a story how a bunch of these golfers went to one side. They left the tradition to do this new thing to get more money. And let people pick sides.
Yeah.
Like, I would tune in to watch that. Because to me, the stakes couldn't be any higher. Because now you have pride and bragging rights on the line. And somehow, if you could showcase Scotty Scheffler and something like that, then you know what, Kasey? I probably would have tuned in to watch that.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think I'd be on board for that. You're never going to get it. But
I know. Because it requires to work together. And like the PGA Tour and LIV would never work together.
So, yeah, I would be interested in something like that. I think the two things from Scotty, like, and again, some of the stuff that happens is like, I'll give you one. When Cam Smith said he was going to live,
yeah,
they were paired together. This video popped back up recently, so I remember it. And like in golf, when you're putting, you don't walk through somebody's like line to the hole. Scotty just walked right through his line. And Cam was all mad, right? So that's like, in the golf world, that's like, yo, he did it.
That's a Kendrick Lamar diss going to Drake.
It's the ultimate diss, right?
Yeah.
But to you, you're like, that's it?
Yeah, okay.
That's all he's doing. So it's like there's that. And then personality-wise, I don't know if you saw this, but so he wins the Masters, gets the jacket, immediately flies back to Texas, Dallas, and I guess goes to like his local bar that he goes to, still wearing the jacket. So that was like a personality.
That's
play.
cool.
But that's all you're getting. Like that's the most you're getting from Scotty Scheffler.
And I remember Brent brought that up too, and I'm like, cool, he wore the jacket.
Yeah, I mean that's all it is. Like that's the same thing I said. I was like, oh,
yeah,
shout out Scotty, he did that. But like that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Listen, if you want to grow the game of golf, and this is a thing too. Like and I don't think it's really a thing anymore. But I remember when this first happened, I wasn't doing the sports show with you guys, but I remember like everyone had something to say about live, and like. Even the PGA players were just like, I can't believe they're going for, and me being a casual fan, I'm just like, shut up. Like they're getting more money. And like, yeah, I get where the money comes from. And like, that's a big thing. But guess what? Soccer does it. WWE does it. UFC does it. A lot of professional sports now are doing it. So it's not just golf. Like you're not special. Everyone's doing this. Okay. So when golfers would come out and say, the tradition, I don't care. Like, that does nothing for me. What would do something for me if you want to grow the sport of golf is have some sort of animosity built towards each other and then showcase that animosity. So if you're Rory McIlroy, call out somebody from LIV and say, let's play a round.
Yeah.
Let's play a couple rounds. And let's see who like the better golfer is. Let's see who the better, and I get it. It's a lot more on the PGA Tour because they've been around for so long and LIV's brand new. Then the new kid on the block, but then make it a yearly thing. I don't know. Do something because I think it's. And once again, I can't believe I'm getting so far down into golf right now, but it speaks all you need to know when you have a dominant guy like Scotty Scheffler and casuals like me don't give a crap.
No,
I don't care.
No.
Make me care. Storylines, drama.
Let me give you
animosity.
Right before we go to break, let me give you a storyline from this. This is the last golf thing of the day.
Okay.
So you know John Rahm.
Heard of him.
Got mad at Marcel. at the play. Oh, you weren't around for that.
What?
Okay, so 2 years ago at the Players, this is still up there. We were doing the show,
sure,
and we were showing video from the Players. I don't know if you've ever seen this video, but I
don't think so.
Marcel's shooting.
Yeah, Action Sports Jax Marcel Robinson.
Yeah. Rom hits a bad shot. Marcel's just videoing him, and bro looks right at Marcel, right at him in the camera, and starts telling him to starts pointing shoot the other way because instead of following the shot, Marcel just stayed on him, and he just stared at Marcel for minutes and just was like,
"What? Don't look at me." Yeah,
trying to get the shot off him, and Marcel, stone cold, kept the shot. It's great.
But it wasn't a light or anything. He just didn't want to be recorded.
Correct.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man.
All right, so this same guy.
This is what I'm talking about, though, Kasey. Okay?
I know, I hear you.
This is why I can't come with you and be a golf supporter. Sorry.
Yeah. So John Rahm, same guy, by the way.
Sure.
Has withdrawn from the U.S. Open. This was yesterday.
Oh.
Let me tell you why.
Okay.
He withdrew due to an infected sore located between the little toe and the next toe.
I'm done.
On his left foot.
I'm all set, man.
So an infection between the
I'm all
toes.
Set.
What is that? Toes 5 and 4.
I'm all
4
set,
and 5.
man. Listen.
Would you call that soft?
I had to play the full 2011 season on a torn Liz Frank injury, ligament. Okay. Don't talk to me about.
It's an infected sore, though.
Don't talk. Put some Bactine something on it. Let's go.
It's infected, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is he carrying his bags? No? Then just go for a little walk. You'll be all right, man.
It's hilly, though. So
the hills. Yeah, the hills.
The sweat in the sock, the bacteria on the infected sore.
Kasey, I mean, what do you want me to do, man? I'm trying. I'm trying so hard on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network to bring in golf takes and golf topics, and I'm trying. I'm trying my best. But then John Rahm wants to hit on Marcel Robinson. Then John Rahm wants to not forego going to the tournament because my big toe hurt.
Actually, just the small toe.
Sorry, the small toe. Yeah. Just chop it off then. You don't even need it.
Nah.
You don't need it.
They say it's balanced, but I don't think
I'd be all right.
Yeah,
do some yoga. Yeah. Do some yoga, man. So, wow. Anyway. Well, I wish you would have told me that because now that my golf interest just keeps on dropping. But it's all right, though, man, because we still have the LPGA Tour. My girl, Charlie Hull, is holding it down for the entire sport of golf. Let's go to break here, Nick, in the daytime. When we come back, we got to talk about one of the biggest sports stories of yesterday. It was the trending topic of all trending topics. People want to say one of the greatest athletes in U.S. history is having to walk away, not by choice. And also, we have a Madden cover athlete, Kasey.
We do.
Is the curse real? Ooh. Should a fan base be nervous? And is there anybody besides Trevor Lawrence who has a snowflake's chance in hell of getting the Madden cover if you're a Jaguars fan? We'll see.
In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jax team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot, any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens. The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580.
People helping people is at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From 1954 to 2024, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. That commitment includes a partnership with the Action Sports Jax 24/7 team as the presenting sponsor of all Armada men's and women's broadcasts this summer. Action Sports Jacks, and Alive Credit Union, a partnership that just makes sense when it comes to covering Northeast Florida. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of our first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent Austen Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one-card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One-card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Austen and Kasey Summertime Spectacular. Got Nick in the daytime pushing all the right buttons, man. Staying on it today. Nick really brought his A game to this one.
Implying that he didn't yesterday?
Well, no, I mean, he did as well, but I think he got a little upset with you making fun of
the man purse?
Well, the man purse, the fanny pack, and he's like, I got something to prove today.
Well, like, here's the thing. I start to understand it more because, see, there's layers to this, right? So to me, I'm like, you don't need to protect your glasses in a man purse. But then he's like, I got the Ray-Bans. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
and
man.
Bro spent
I got 2 pairs.
Two pairs of Ray-Bans in this economy?
Yeah, the sunglasses are also Ray-Bans.
In this economy?
With the $90 bag?
I'm going to have to restructure my contract.
Bro.
I got to restructure my contract. Yeah,
Hashtag blind.
Wait, hang on. So your shades are prescription as well?
Yeah.
Bro, you can't see at all.
Can't hide money.
No, I can, but
you?
I hated like taking these off and putting just a regular pair of sunglasses
Can't
on.
hide money. You can't hide money.
You definitely can't hide it.
As we told Josh Scobie when he signed his new contract and came in the next day with a brand new green Aston Martin, you can't hide money.
Can't
hide
wearing
money.
a man purse.
Two sets of Ray-Bans.
It's insane.
You know what's funny? I remember being a kid. I think I was like in 2nd grade, and I was hanging out with my older cousin, big baseball player. and he was in high school at the time. And I remember, like, this goes to show you, like, where in terms of being, I don't say sheltered, but, like, being in a bubble in Iola, Wisconsin, he had a pair of Oakleys. And I'm like, oh, those shades are really cool. And I'm like, how much do those cost? I want to get a pair. He goes, oh, they're probably like $150. And I couldn't comprehend that price. Like, to me, an expensive pair of shades would have been like $10, $20.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't comprehend spending over $100 for a pair of shades. That was my introduction to the world of, hey, there's more to life than, going to Target or going to Kmart at the time. As we
big Kmart guy.
And getting just a pair of plastic glasses.
Sure.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I was so uninitiated, and now here we are.
Yeah, I've never spent that kind of money on glasses.
Yeah.
See, I did what you didn't do way back in, April a couple years ago.
There we go.
I used Brent Shady Ray's code. All right? You were too fond of the code idea at the time, but I used it.
Hey, when you get let go from a show, the last thing you want to hear right after you get let go is use my code name for a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I said I'll use the code for him.
Now, needless to say, I would have used it if my head is normal size and not bulbous and giant, but I doubt those Shady Rays would actually fit me.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
There you go. I'll stick with my Carreras. Big sports news yesterday, Kasey. Controversy. One of quote-unquote America's greatest athletes done an injustice, if you will. It was the number one trending topic for a while yesterday. Competitive eater Joey Chestnut has been banned from the hot dog eating contest this year, taking place July 4th at Coney Island.
Unbelievable.
Due to some kind of stipulation where he has an endorsement with a Beyond. Is it Beyond? It's basically it's like a vegan thing, a hot dog that Nathan's is saying, not in our watch, and decided to ban Mr. Chestnut from competing this year at the hot dog eating contest. Your thoughts, Kasey?
I mean, he's like the whole thing, though, huh? Like, can you name another competitive eater? No.
Eater X. And I remember him because he wears like war paint.
Okay.
Eater X. There you go.
He's still in it?
I don't know.
Okay.
He's not even that good, but I just remember
So he's mid.
the face paint.
Like,
Very mid.
This is the whole thing. The whole contest is Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
And you're telling me you're not going to let him in?
So
there go the ratings.
We have an official response from Mr. Joey Chestnut. And by the way, before I even preface by reading what he said, I don't want to come across as a giant hater, but I'm about to.
Oh, boy.
I could care less about the hot dog eating contest. I'm sorry.
I actually hate it.
And I could care less about Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, I am
because here's where I stand. He wants to call himself a dominant athlete.
Well,
if you have to put the word competitive in front of what you do, it's not a sport.
Well, eating, I mean.
I'm just saying, if the word competitive is in front of quote unquote your sport, it's not a sport.
All right.
Not an athlete.
Well, I think it's.
Am I wrong?
Listen, I'm
not.
No,
let's hear it, Kasey.
I'm not a fan
hash this out.
of the hot dog eating contest. I actually think it's rather disgusting.
Very.
But what he does is impressive.
No, I mean, listen, sure, it's impressive. And when somebody can hold the plank for over 10 hours, that's impressive too.
Agreed.
It's in the same ballpark. But we're showcasing Joey Chestnut, and the person who can do a plank for an extended period of time gets no showcase.
That's fair.
And to be fair, I think it's more impressive to do the plank that long than eating that long.
Yeah,
or
no,
eating
for
that
sure.
much.
For
okay,
sure.
So then we're in the same ballpark here.
Well, sort of, because, I don't know, when I think of, an athlete, right?
Sure.
Here
we go.
I think about something that most people can't do.
Okay.
Most people cannot plank for 5 seconds, let alone however long.
Mm-hmm.
Most people cannot throw a football the way that, the quarterbacks in the NFL do.
Sure.
Most people can't eat that much.
Yeah.
And
doesn't make you an athlete.
Well, it makes you something.
Doesn't make you an athlete.
Makes you something.
Sure. Doesn't make you an athlete, though.
But the thing is, he's not even fat, though.
Hey, I can't go on Jeopardy and win, probably ever. I can't do it. What was the guy's name? Ken Jennings?
Ken Jennings.
Ken Jennings did? You're not an athlete. You're smart.
Okay, so then if he's not an athlete, he's like an elite human then?
Joey Chestnut? He's not an athlete. He's hungry.
But he's not. Here's the
Ken Jennings is not an athlete. He's smart.
He's
Joey
an elite
Chestnut
human.
is not an athlete. Sure, he's an elite human. Sure,
Joey Chestnut, Ken Jennings, elite human.
They're in the 1 percentile. Sure,
Yes,
I'll say
elite
that.
human.
Okay, they're elite.
Thank
They're
you.
not elite athletes though.
I'll go with you, but
Come with me then, Kasey.
Okay, I'll go with you there.
Okay.
But they need a group, and they're the elite human group. Then
they're the elites of what they do.
They're the elite humans. Yeah,
they're the elites of what they do. Not saying humans.
Yes.
No, they're the elite at what they do.
Nick, are they elite humans?
Are we talking about Ken and Joey?
Yes.
Yes, they're elite.
Humans.
Humans, yes.
Yes. You need a qualification because if they're not athletes, I won't argue with you anymore about that.
They're not athletes. Don't put competitive in front of your sport and call yourself an athlete.
But I think that they need to be given a title. That's foul.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
Go on.
I think they need a title of some sort. They're elite at what they do, but if they're not athletes, they're humans, are they not? Then they're elite human. Like,
yeah.
What would be another example of this? Like, who's somebody that's elite at something, not an athlete? Like Ken Jennings, very smart.
Sure. Name anything.
Like whoever's like the Tetris champion. That's an elite human.
No. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're elite at what they. Does that make you an elite human?
Elite human.
Okay. So am I an elite athlete because I played in the NFL and I do UFC?
Yes.
So am I? Okay, I'll take that then. I didn't know that I was going there. All right, I'll take that.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. So we have comments from Joey Chestnut. I was gutted to learn from the media that after 19 years, I'm banned from the Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest. I love competing in that event. I love celebrating America with my fans all over this great country on the 4th, and I have been training to defend my title. Don't worry, there's a lot more. 1 second, please. So that was his first thing. And maybe I'm not can. Okay, here we go. Yep. To set the record straight, I do not have a contract with MLE, which was the brand that. Okay, that's Major League Eating, or Nathan's, and they're looking to change the rules from past years as it relates to other partners I can work with. This is apparently the basis on which I'm being banned, and it doesn't impact the 4th of July event. Sadly, this is the decision Nathan's and Major League Eating are making, and it will deprive the great fans of the holiday's usual joy and entertainment. To my fans, I love you, and I appreciate you. Rest assured that you'll get to see me eat again soon.
That's foul.
Ends it with, stay hungry. All capitals, stay hungry. That's Joey Chestnut, world champion competitive eater, not athlete. By the way,
elite human.
Your whole elite human has 66,000 followers on Twitter. Those are
eating.
Those are Brent Martineau numbers.
For eating.
Dude's pulling Brent Martineau numbers.
I eat all the time, and I don't have 1,000 followers.
Dude's pulling Brent Martineau numbers and has won how many championships? And he's in Brent Martineau territory.
He doubled Brent.
Brent's got like 40-something thousand, I thought.
No, he's 39.
Okay, so maybe double him a little bit.
He doubled up, which is about right.
Yeah. I'm just saying, man, I can't come with you on the Joey Chestnut hype. Like, I respect you because you do something that I can never do. Okay, so I get that, Kasey.
Elite.
So sure, but like I consider a marathoner elite because I can never run a marathon.
I agree with that. You got to be
So
a
they're
winner
elite.
now. Now you can't just be a loser.
No, for sure. Well, okay.
You got to win.
Okay.
Got to be good at it.
Well, I mean, I think if you even do it, it's impressive to me.
Well,
Because I can't.
You could do it.
Oh yeah, we could walk it.
Yeah, you could do it.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, it has to be
You got to be good at it.
It's got to be a decent.
If it takes you 2 days, I could do it in 2 days.
It's got to be a decent time.
Now, how you feel about this?
Yeah.
Like the pro gaming, like the gaming champions.
Okay.
You feel? I mean, where are you at on? Not that they're athletes, but I would also put them.
Are you gonna really ask me how I feel about it? Because I think you know how I feel about it.
I would put it in the elite human category as well. No?
So you think like I'm trying to?
I'm gonna have to agree.
You agree?
Oh,
Yes,
this
100%.
This show's getting way
There it
too
is.
young. This show
No,
is getting
when you get-
way too young.
There it is.
No, it's not even young necessarily, but when you get stacked up against some of these guys that have been in some of the major esports organizations for
Yeah.
a long time,
Okay.
they're just insanely good to
So-
a degree upon which a
Thank
normal
you.
person cannot play with.
Okay. So here's what I think about this. if you're gonna be an elite gamer, like I don't know, give me one gamer because I have no idea. I'm sorry.
Optic Scumpy. You can say Scumpy.
See, no. This conversation is done because this is the dumbest thing. I'm not gonna give praise to somebody named Arctic Scumpy and call him an elite. You just
one of the best to do.
You just shot yourself. You just folded your entire argument because we're not gonna give love to somebody named Arctic Scumpy. Okay? That's not how it works in this world. Okay? I'm so sick and tired of you coming in here and trying to run No, because here's my point. I think I could take any child from an early age, make them play the video game every single day, and they'll be good at it.
Disagree.
You did?
Yeah.
No.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Nope.
I disagree.
Nope.
Wholeheartedly.
You guys are wrong.
It's not just playing the game, it's learning the game, understanding the mechanic, understanding the map. But it's not just simply playing
but the more time you spend playing said game,
I don't disagree with that.
Okay, you're going to be elite. So, like, for instance, no.
Not elite. You can be really good.
You can be really
Not
good.
elite.
You can be a content creator, do clips, have 100,000 on Twitch, all good.
I
can't
think
be elite.
It's kind of Tim the Tatman right there.
Because you aren't born with this. Like, listen, you can see, like, Jordan.
You're born with hand-eye.
Sure.
To a degree.
Sure. But, like, you can have, like, okay, Pac-Man. If you play Pac-Man every single day for the next 10 years, you get your 10,000 hours, they say, and you become an expert, you'll be probably one of the best Pac-Man players in the world. And the same thing can be said for a lot of video games. You can't, like, be an NBA, like, you can't be in a basketball, shoot every single day, and be a professional NBA player. Like, you can maybe be like Steph Curry and be a great shooter, but you need other things to go along with that. And that's my point. Like, if somebody really wanted to work on eating hot dogs every single day, I'm sure they could reach Joey Chestnut status.
I don't know.
So that's why I can't call you, like, Ken Jennings, I think, was born with smarts.
Sure.
Like, you're not going to read encyclopedias, go on Google, type in every question ever, and no, like, you're born with that. I don't think Joey Chestnut was born with the gene that makes you a great eater. I think he worked at it. I don't think any competitive gamer is just born with, oh, this kid was destined. Do you know who this kid's parents are? Give me another one. Arctic, what was his name? Arctic what?
It's Optic Scumpy. Now,
Optic, don't ever act like I'm supposed to know what that name is. Okay, so it was like Optic Scumpy was born, and everyone's like, whoa, you know who his dad was, right? His dad was one of the original, like, top 5 players in Mario. Well, you know who his mom was, right? His mom was the first female to ever complete Mario without dying. Like, we're not having those conversations because there's nothing in your genes that says you're going to be a great gamer. It takes time, effort, and practice. So sorry, Scumpy, I don't consider you the top 1% or the elite because anybody could put their time into it and be great.
Elite human.
Top athletes, the MJs, the LeBrons, the Patrick Mahomes, you're born with it.
Okay, so then what about like Shaun White?
Okay.
Would you say elite athlete?
Absolutely.
But by what you just did.
Yes.
But by the argument that you just made, anybody could snowboard from the age of what, 4?
No. No, because anybody could do it, but I think when it comes to snowboarding, extreme sports, you have to have that thing in your head that says you're not afraid.
What about Pete Weber?
Bowling. Is Pete.
Well, first, don't we can't go from action sports to bowling. Okay? With Shaun White, when I'm making my point, Nick, in the daytime, okay? My point for Shaun White, I think what makes him so great is he has no fear. Like, yeah, sure. You can put any kid on a snowboard and, like, you know, put your 10,000 hours in, but you still have to have the mentality to say, I'm not afraid to do this McTwist 360 to double backflip.
So Pastrana?
Travis Pastrana, same thing. Yeah.
But if you start,
right,
but
oh, I'm sorry. Is there dangers in gaming? Oh my God, I'm playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
What's the side effects of that?
Carpal tunnel. Yes.
Theoretically, look. If you get swatted, that becomes a real issue.
Yeah, that is wild. That's a different thing, but that is wild.
It is wild.
Okay, you guys, I'm trying to keep this 100. I'm trying to have everybody. You can't say words like swatted because I don't know what swatted means. So what is
really
from the kids' corner?
It's like a fake police call to a house where they say that something's happening at the house.
No, Kasey.
No, this is actually super common.
What is it?
So
it's in gaming?
Yeah, like streaming.
Okay.
So basically, like, you'll see it, like it happens to people on Twitch where someone will call and be like, this person has like endangered people or kidnapped people or is doing something illegal at this house. They like, it happens to Aiden Ross a lot. You know who Aiden Ross is?
I've heard of him.
Okay, so bro streams, he gets swatted all the time. So basically, police and SWAT teams show up to your house like guns drawn, ready to go, and they like clear the house and scare the crap out of people because a SWAT team shows up at your house.
Okay. So that's the
pretty terrifying.
Okay, so that's the drama that gamers have to endure.
Bro, it's a real life SWAT team.
Oh, okay, but I'm just saying, just so we're clear, that's
slip up and there's no more stream.
That's the adversity that you have to deal with Wi-Fi issues and you know, connectivity issues, and you have to deal with the police. Okay,
gotcha. But not the police.
No.
A SWAT team.
A SWAT team. Gotcha. Okay, good. All right.
You're telling me you'd be thrilled? You'd be thrilled.
No, they're elite. Yeah.
If you're at home,
I'm sure.
Door gets kicked down. The SWAT team is on you, all because you're playing Fortnite.
I'm sure Ken Jennings had to go through it too as well. No, I get it.
Human.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know nothing else to say. Like I don't know what you guys want from me. Okay, let's just go ahead and go to break. Actually, no. I had Nick in my ear saying go to break. We're not going to break. I don't care. I'll pay the bill for people that didn't get shared. I'm gonna say one more thing. If you run the risk of injury, if you run the risk of like, you can't compare Shaun White to someone said Ninja in the chat. I think that's a good. I know who Ninja is.
Yeah, Ninja's good.
Ninja was on the cover of ESPN the magazine, I think, back in the day a little bit.
Okay.
So like, I know who Ninja is. It's not comparable though, because you can take anybody, and I mean anybody, with mental capacity, put them in front of a video game, tell them to play it every single day, and they can be an elite gamer.
I'm not with you on that. I'm just not.
I'm telling you, you can.
I'm just like, let's take Nick for example. Sorry, Nick, pile on. Bro can't see without his glasses. So like that's
dude, you can't my eyes to be good again.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's already a person, or like if you tried with Nick at the age of 3, right? His eyes aren't 100%.
Sure.
So that's like, it's the same way as like, I don't know, there's other people with vision issues that can't be certain athletes because like it just doesn't work. So like that's a problem. What if your hands are small and you can't like fully grasp the controller?
Yeah, you can't play claw sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just take any child and make them like, what if they can't see?
Casey,
well,
if we're having the conversation, if Kyler Murray can come in with small hands, and if Kenny Pickett can come in with small hands.
It didn't work out for Kenny Pickett.
Okay, but he was still, I mean, he's still, look at this, the 1%. Like, you got drafted as a quarterback, right? Like, you can't deny that.
Sure, first round.
If you mean to tell me that small hands are, are a detriment to the world of gaming,
it doesn't
you're just
help.
proving my point, though.
I'm just saying that it doesn't help.
Just figure it out, okay?
Can't.
I'm sorry.
Not my controller any smaller.
I'm putting a bow on this. I'm putting a bow on it now. All right, I'm putting that Brent Martineau trademark bow on it. I'm saying that Joey Chestnut, like, I get what you do. I don't like the fact that it's like the Kentucky Derby where they talk about him for 2 hours with all the dad jokes. They have a ridiculous announcer bring him into the stage to do his thing, and then a ridiculous post-eating interview where it's like, you quote from Anchorman or you quote from a Will Ferrell. That seems to be the thing for Joey Chestnut. I'm all set, all right? And that's why you're pulling Brent Martineau numbers on Twitter.
Doubles him up.
Brent Martineau numbers on Twitter.
Doubles him up.
I can't come with you on the whole gaming thing, okay? I think you put time into the gaming thing, guys. I'm sorry, Nick. Nick.
No, I'm not mad.
What's the guy's name one more time for the people
Stumpy.
at home? Stumpy what?
Optic.
You do realize that you can't call yourself Stumpy Optic and be the top 1%, though, right? I mean, are we all in agreement on that?
Fair,
like in the world's greatest athletes,
it's not great.
Like when we just talk about Jerry West today, obviously a legend in the finals. The NBA logo's after him. When you put Stumpy Optic in terms of the gaming logo, just not going to happen. Okay,
you don't know.
Okay, it's just not going to happen, guys. And then that's simple as that. Okay, call me old. Tell me to get off my porch. We can go to break now because I'll allow it. And when we come back here, we'll talk some more Jags.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnick Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnick family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnik Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnik Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids.
Financing rates as low as 0.9% for eligible buyers on Terrains and no payments for 90 days.
Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnik Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnikbuickgmc.com. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
It's hard to put a price on comfort, especially when you use that comfort on a daily basis. But if we're going to put a price on it, how does the lowest price guaranteed sound? Furniture Source is going to have the biggest brands, whether it's Ashley, Casper, or Tempur-Pedic, and once again, it's going to be the guaranteed lowest price in Jacksonville. Right now, my friends at Furniture Source are going to give you the ultimate hookup because all month long, they're making their inventory wholesale price. Check out their markdowns up to 50% off. And remember, since it's Furniture Source, you're getting the guaranteed lowest prices in Florida or your money back. Don't have the cash on you right now? It's no worry. Shop endless options to suit your style and budget and enjoy 36 months off with no interest financing. Why use your money when you can use theirs? Whether it's beds, couches, tables, or chairs, Furniture Source is going to have exactly what you're looking for. Shop the lowest prices in Jacksonville guaranteed. Find the location nearest you at FurnitureSourceJacks.com.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Oh man, it is that time. I love being outside, but it is just so hot. Oh my gosh, I cannot be outside. Well, you know, it doesn't have to be. As a matter of fact, I've got the perfect solution for you to be able to stay outdoors and not look like this guy.
GW Outdoor Solutions has the solution that will help you create areas of shade with their automated retractable awning. As the summer months inch closer, the high temperatures will be right there too. With GW Outdoor Solutions, go from scorching to cooling in no time with one simple push of a button. These innovative shade solutions not only provide protection from the sun and rain, but also add style and functionality to your home. Let GW Outdoor Solutions transform your backyard into paradise. Check out GWOutdoorLiving.com for your free estimate.
New to town or always been in town, everyone is always looking for a good pizza place. Our place is Donato's Pizza. We love it and still do love it. When I tell my family I'm coming to Donato's, they say, wait a minute, you got to order some for us. So this is not all for me. Let me tell you what the Martinos get when we put an order in. Well, pepperoni pizza, we usually get more than one of these. And then there's the works, a little bit of everything. And then this is the pizza that can be polarizing for some out there. I don't know why. Hawaiian pizza, some love it, some don't. At Donato's, you're gonna love it, especially with that cinnamon sprinkled on top. Try the pizza my family likes or try your favorite. Right now, you can use the code BRENT20 and get 20% off your order. Every viewer and listener is important to us, and at Donato's Pizza, every piece is important. From fresh ingredients to the dedicated team members and you, the valued customer. Donato's Pizza, where every piece comes together for a winning combination. Jack's Beach and Mandarin locations. Donato's Pizza, every piece is important.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the summertime sadness with Austen and Kasey, because I don't know how to feel after that debate that we just had, guys.
Hey.
What do you got for us, Kasey?
So, you were talking about Joey Chestnut pulling Brent Martineau numbers?
Yes.
I'm looking at our guy Arctic Scump right here on Twitter.
Yeah.
2.2 million followers.
Yeah, I mean, bots. I understand.
Bro,
I mean, if you're in the world of video games, you get bots. I got it.
Bro quadruples the Florida Panthers.
Here we go.
There are 3 times.
We got to show the Ariana Grande numbers again, Kasey.
There are 3 times the amount of people.
We got to show the Ariana Grande numbers again,
know
Kasey.
About Stump that don't know about the Florida Panthers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is Stump going to Florida Panthers games?
No, he has respect for himself.
But hey, Ariana Grande is going 300-something million followers. So, and by the way, and Nick, like I understand, like I'm a freelancer here, so I can't run the show. I can't make the hirings, the firings, any of that. But so help me if I go ask a question about, what's the guy's name one more time? I forgot about it. It's his whole name. Okay.
Yeah.
If I ask a question like during the break about Optic Scump, and you go, "Oh, Scumpy." You talk about. I asked him like, okay, so what games does Optic Scump play? And Nick in the daytime goes, "Oh, Scump. He's been in the, like you went to school with him,
like that's your guy,
like you're taking him in the airport every single weekend. He doesn't know who you are." Okay. Hey,
which is more than the Florida Panthers. 2.2 million people grew up watching Scump. So
okay,
that's all I'm saying.
Whatever you want to say, man. Interesting conversation. I encourage you guys to go back and listen to it. I feel like no other sports station is talking about what we just talked about in terms of gaming and competitive eating. But we also talk about the Jaguars here on the show as well. And in case we didn't know, they are in a mini camp right now. And Cameron Wolf, been around Jacksonville, been around these parts for a little bit, works with the NFL Network, is a national NFL reporter, actually had some things to say about what's going on right now in Jaguars training camp. So Nick, in the daytime, if you're done watching the Scump videos, let's go ahead and see that video, please.
Yeah, Tom, let's just call these the June Jaguars, a very slimmed down version. So Doug Peterson, as he has the last 2 years previously, excused most of the veterans from mandatory minicamp. And so no Trevor Lawrence, no Christian Kirk, no Travis Etienne, just 60 guys. And so you're seeing a lot of the young guys get an opportunity this week. And Mac Jones was the quarterback today for all of the snaps, the guy they acquired from the Patriots early this offseason. You'll see a lot of the guys I mentioned earlier next in training camp. But it's a really big opportunity for these young guys this week. And I'll start with Brian Thomas Jr., their first-round receiver they drafted this year. He's going to be in the role vacated by Calvin Ridley, who went to Tennessee. And Trevor Lawrence has already raved about him this offseason, talking about how fast he's picking up the offense, how smart he is, and, of course, how fast he runs. And I talked to someone in the Jaguars building today who said he had another great day of practice, just using that speed, getting open. Big opportunity for him, as well as their second-year running back, Tank Bigsby. He didn't have a great year one, and they really want to get him going. He only had 50 carries, 2.6 yards per carry. They want Travis Etienne to get a breather. He had the second most carries or touches of any other running back last year, and so they want Tank Bigsby to get going. And so those two guys have a really big opportunity this week. But you mentioned Josh Allen. He's the biggest name there. He signed that 5-year, $150 million contract early this offseason. He's been training in Arizona on his own. He was there today, and he was very bold with his goals. He said, I want to win Defensive Player of the Year. I want to be Tier 1. I spent a lot of time with Josh Allen, Tom, and he wants to prove that he's a household name. So coming off that 17.5 sack season, Doug Peterson said the question for Josh Allen is, can you do it again? Can you do it again? You have to do it again. And he gets to play Eric Armstead this time, the guy they signed from the San Francisco 49ers. And so a nice front for them. Eric Armstead, Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen, maybe the most talented front they've had in the Doug Peterson era. Allen told reporters today, I'm not Nick Bosa like Eric has played in San Fran, but I'm Josh, and I'm a bag boy too.
Cameron Wolf with some interesting things going out of Jaguars mini camp. I mean, wow, really trying to get involved. Tank Bigsby there. I wonder who on the show has said that maybe Tank Bigsby, as a really bold prediction, might have a lot of touchdowns this year.
I mean, listen, like
Go on. Yep.
you heard it, the first part of that soundbite. There's nobody there, so we got to talk about the
trying
people
to
that
get
are
him
here.
going.
Hank Bigsby. Oh, he's here.
Trying to get him going, Casey. Okay, they're trying to get him going now.
Try all they want.
I think that one of the biggest takeaways, though, is how they're treating this mini camp in terms of showcasing more of the depth players and the younger players.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that with a team that is coming off of a disappointing season?
I think, like, here's the thing. Here's always been my thoughts about, like, OTAs minicamp.
Yeah.
From a dude that did not play
Oh,
in the NFL. I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here.
No, sure.
All like the video we saw of Josh Allen, like I said in here, nice rep.
Yeah.
That to me, I could have gone my whole life without knowing those reps happened.
Yeah.
And I would have been fine. You know what I mean? To me, it doesn't matter what it looks like on the field at these type of things. The only thing that matters to me in these OTAs and minicamps is stuff that you cannot see because that's the team understanding the install.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And we're hearing, Mac Jones is showcasing some good skill sets. Right. And, he's looking like kind of like he looked like when he first came in the league. So you like that. My only complaint from that whole philosophy, and I get it, because spring, mini camps, OTAs, it's so drawn out, Casey. Like, it's so unnecessary. Mm-hmm. I get all that. But I would like to see Trevor Lawrence in there a lot, throwing the ball to Brian Thomas Jr., because that takes the reps. That takes time. It takes time to build the chemistry and rapport. Look at Calvin Ridley last year. Like, I thought Ridley was going to come out on fire, set the fantasy world ablaze, and he had a couple good games, but overall, it didn't seem like they're on the same page. Sure. Now, Trevor spoke his praises, wanted him back. Doesn't work out. Tennessee pays him all that money. They get Brian Thomas Jr. We've all heard the same thing. Brian Thomas Jr. looking great in training camp, right? Looks the part. I just want to see that chemistry be built right now. And you can do that right now. So I understand giving Mac Jones some reps as well, see what you got with him. But to me, this season is all about Trevor Lawrence. And if I'm coaches, if I'm staff, I'm trying to throw as much at Trevor Lawrence as possible to, number one, build his confidence, but also build a rapport now with a brand new wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they don't go that way. I mean, I don't know. I just think that where you are at this point, like you were just here if you're Trevor Lawrence for 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
What in these last 3 days are you going to learn that you didn't, figure out in these last 3 weeks? I get it. You can't replace reps. I understand what you're saying there. But it's like, can you find those reps? And Trevor, we've seen in points where the team's not had activity, like you saw a couple of years ago, they went to Clemson, like they went to South Carolina and threw, like Zay Jones and Christian Kirk and those guys. So does Trevor find the time to work with Brian Thomas Jr. on the side? I bet he will.
Sure, of course.
So,
yeah, you'd think so.
I mean, to me, it doesn't bother me, but just because they've done it a couple of times, so I'm just like, okay, like this is what they're going to do. But I do understand coming off the collapse, I could see why you'd be like, why don't we just stay together for 3 more days?
All right, Nick, let's go ahead and take our last break here. I mean, speaking of training camp and everything, being mandatory, showing up, should you practice? Aaron Rodgers right now getting a little heat for not being there for his New York Jets. Should Jets fans be worried about it? Should we pick apart Aaron Rodgers? Is it not a big deal? And did Robert Saleh kind of do himself and the franchise a disservice a little bit with some of his press conference quotes? Talk about that next year on the Austen and Kasey Summertime Spectacular.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
A home doubleheader for the Fleet results in a rivalry win and a solid performance against a nationally ranked foe at Southern Oaks Stadium. On Saturday, the girls in blue faced off against WPSL Power, the West Florida Flames, and the Armada women were up to the task. Chloe Chivers provided this blast from a free kick 35 yards out to equalize early and help the ladies earn a 1-1 draw.
I hit it with power, whip, and venom, as Garfield said.
Friday night, the men welcomed in Old Foe New Orleans, but it was not a warm welcome as Tommy Krasanovich's squad earned a 3-1 victory over the Jesters. Oliver Moeller-Jensen provided a nifty header in the opening minutes, and a pair of second-half penalties proved to be the difference in an Armada win.
We just played together for each other, especially in the last minutes.
This weekend, it'll be another doubleheader on the campus of JU, with the men playing Saturday at 7 and the ladies Sunday at 2. Get your tickets at JacksonvilleArmada.com.
In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jags team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot, any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens. The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store, either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Spring Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
One last segment here on the Austen and Kasey Summertime Spectacular. Trademark. Bam. I was Brett Martineau was on the West Coast having some family time, some vacation time, watching some baseball and everything, and it's been a day. All right, it's been a day and a half on this show. We've talked about everything. We got wrestling, we got some golfing, obviously some Jaguars stuff. And I'm going to be honest, it took a dark turn. It took a dark turn for me mentally when we got into the world of competitive gaming a little bit. And it was a mirror to me showing just how old I really am, you know? Because when we talk about... I'm sorry?
Nothing.
Okay, all right. Because when we talk about in terms of, you know, I try to stay current to everything. Sports, entertainment, fashion, music, culture. I feel like I'm pretty versed on it.
Yeah.
And then we start going down the competitive gaming road with yourself and Nick in the daytime.
Old Stump.
And yeah, and I had no idea what was going on. I learned what swatting was today.
That's wild. You don't know that.
I learned about, I guess, a popular competitive gamer that has a lot more Twitter followers than
2.2 million. Than the Florida Panthers.
The Florida Panthers.
And Brent and Joey Chestnut.
And Brent and
all
Joey
together.
Chestnut all together combined.
That's embarrassing.
And I'm just left sitting here thinking, like, I guess I've just been so oblivious to it, Kasey. And you know what it feels like? You ever see the movie Shawshank Redemption?
Mm-hmm.
Nick of the Daytime, you ever seen Shawshank Redemption? Probably not.
Yeah.
You seen it, actually?
Yes.
Okay. So in that movie, there's a scene by an old inmate named Brooks. And Brooks was a seasoned guy. He was there forever. He finally gets released, and he goes out into the real world. And he discovers that the world has changed so much around him that he cannot live in said world. And it's a very sad scene, a very emotional scene. Just goes to show you that a guy who was so accustomed to doing things a certain way for so long couldn't handle change, couldn't handle the modern day, and ended up hanging himself. Tragic scene, emotional scene. Not saying I'm going to take it there, but I'm just saying I felt like Brooks did when he left the jail, because there, I guess, is just so much that I don't even know in terms of gaming, in terms of terms, in terms of names. I've been oblivious for so long, and I'm almost embarrassed by it, guys. I'm sorry.
No, don't be.
Yeah.
It's a world that if you're not in it, you don't know it.
It's true.
And
yeah,
it's like wrestling. I don't really know it right now. Golf, whatever. Hockey, like I don't know. I know golf better than I do hockey.
Okay.
Hockey, I'm ignorant.
Yeah.
I don't lie about.
Well, you know the Panthers suck, so that's what's
about to be Stanley Cup champions, but it's all
okay, they don't
good.
suck. They just don't have any fans.
About to be Stanley Cup champions. Casey's the hater. It's all
No
good.
fans.
I'll go ahead and clip that and then put that on Twitter and see how the fans react. I wonder if you get any.
I'll be fine. They don't have it. It'll get
All right.
no likes, no views. They'll be like, what is the Florida Panther?
Well, before we take off here, Aaron Rodgers is a big hot topic right now in the city of New York. Let's go to Robert Saleh's press conference real quick over the comments of Aaron Rodgers not being there.
Is Hassan Reddick attending minicamp?
No, so we've got two inexcused absences. One obviously being Hassan. Spoke to him over the weekend. Appreciate the dialogue. He's in a really good place mentally, working his tail off like we already know, and but he's choosing to sit out this one inexcused. The second one is Aaron. Aaron and I spoke before OTA started. He's been very good in communication. He's been here the entire time. It's inexcused, but he had an event that was very important to him, which he communicated.
Both are inexcused.
Both inexcused. Yes.
So are they getting fined?
They're both subject to the CBA fine schedule.
Okay. Not a good look for a couple people.
Yeah.
Not a good look for Aaron Rodgers because, well, I assume it's probably going to be something political, something that means
It's
a lot
some
to
wild,
him.
yeah.
It's something wild. It could be an ayahuasca retreat as far as we're concerned. And to be fair, hey, Aaron, you kind of got to, be there.
Yeah.
I mean, you missed last season. The team's depending on you. Like, he has to be there, yeah?
Mhm.
Now, with Hassan Reddick, I think it's different because this guy's holding up for a new contract.
Yeah.
Has stated since he got traded to New York, I want a new contract. New York goes, yeah, that's great and everything. We'll see. Welcome to the Jets. Well, no, I still want a new contract. So I get where it violates the CBA because you're not there, but you can't put Hassan Reddick and Aaron Rodgers in the same boat here.
Mhm.
And then Robert Saleh makes the mistake of saying, essentially like a kid who missed school for not a good reason. I feel like you're putting Aaron Rodgers up for hate and detriment.
I feel like there was a lot of things that he didn't need to say that he did say in there.
Yeah.
Right? Because he wasn't even asked about Aaron Rodgers, but he just dragged him into it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, just don't say it. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, I think it's a weird look.
Just say it. Hey, they aren't here right now.
They aren't here.
We've been in contact with them, but they're not here.
Are they going to be fined? We'll see.
Yeah. Like, it's almost like Robert's, and I love Robert Saleh as a coach. I think he's a great coach.
I like him as a coach.
I mean, watching Hard Knocks and everything, like, I thought he was a great guy. But you're doing yourself zero favors when you essentially kind of put your quarterback on blast in front of the media, in front of the world, when that's like the last guy I feel like that you want to put on blast with Aaron Rodgers because he's very opinionated and kind of lives in his own lane. So
is it like Robert Saleh saying nobody's above the team? Is that what this is?
I mean, maybe, but guess what? Aaron Rodgers is above the team right now, as far as I'm concerned. Like, for what you invested in him, for what you need from him, he is above the team.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say, like, I get everyone's equal, but you got to tread lightly with that guy because who's to say he doesn't retire then and goes to join Robert, Kennedy and become vice president? Like,
who knows?
If anybody was going to do it, Aaron Rodgers would do it.
Yep.
All right. Well, this has been a very interesting and informational type of show today, guys, but I appreciate you here. Nick in the daytime, thanks for pushing the buttons. We got you tomorrow, too, for some even more hot takes and competitive gaming, or what's the plan going to be?
We'll just have to see.
We'll have to see.
So we'll see you tomorrow.
So we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow in orange again.
Yeah, that's what he does, man.
Color I got, buddy.
I know. I
Rocky
believe that.
top, man.
I believe that.
All right, man. Well, it's been the Austen and Kasey Summertime Spectacular for Casey Kurtz, for Brent Martineau on the West Coast, for Nick in the daytime, whatever that gamer guy, what was his name?
Stumpy.
For Stumpy, I'm Austin Lane. Have a great day. Stay casual, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.